Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul, baby, feeling oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow. Soul glow.
Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you every fucking game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have me doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree to the TOP from the 313. And joining me is my main man, my Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. He'll be here shortly. He is heading home from work, so give us a little bit of time, and Mikey will be joining us shortly. Let's get to some of your chat real quick. Badass Pagula sucks as an owner. He wants you to know that. Every single time. And I'll get to Mikey real quick. Mikey is here, but I'm gonna keep him in the green room, as they say, real quick. It ain't gonna take long, folks. What I gotta say, it's gonna be real quick. At least quick for me. Go Bills. Yeah, damn right, go Bills. The most interesting man in the chat. Been breaking news. 3-year anniversary. Working at Texas Roadhouse. In Indiana, been working for 3 years. Well, damn, good for you, brother. Congrats on the 3-year. Hola, hola, since I thought talking about the show. Spin, what up, man? Hooked on Phonics does not work for me. It doesn't work for me at times either. All right. So, look, man, real quick, man. I went live for the Super Bowl, as many of you guys know, or the ones that were here. And obviously, a lot of people talking about the halftime show because the game was so fucking boring, right? It was one of the worst Super Bowls that I watched recently. I mean, honestly, it's been a while since I've seen a Super Bowl that bad. But most of the talk was about the halftime show, which is crazy, right? Should never be that way. But it was, because Super Bowl, once again, sucked. So anyways, the Super Bowl halftime was a big conversation within the chat, big conversation really throughout, Twitter and Facebook and everywhere, right? Everybody had an opinion or take, and I pretty much told the line. I stayed in the middle. I told you guys, look, everybody has their taste of music. It's not that big of a deal for me. Would have I personally liked a different band? Of course, but that's me, because that's what I like. But to the next person, they may like Bad Bunny, whatever. And I never really hardly watched the halftime show, so I could care less. To each his own. And by the way, everyone's going to have their opinions, and that's okay. That's a great thing about life. You can have an opinion. You can voice your opinion. You can say what you want to say. Freedom of speech for everybody. And look, man, there's a guy, and I'm going to bring it up, and this is the reason why I want to tell you guys this, because it's not so much about that. It's really, there's a guy that I had on here years ago named Dom Brown, rapper from Buffalo. Most of you guys probably don't even know the guy, because he's irrelevant, apparently. I asked around. People don't even know the guy, but I'm going to tell you the guy's name, Don Brown. And he was on my channel a couple times. I thought the guy was okay. I never had a problem with the guy. And he added me on Facebook. And this is back in, I don't know, 2022, guys, something like that. And I had posted something on Facebook, which I barely ever talk politics or anything like that. And I asked, is Joe Biden doing a good job? That's it. I didn't put anything. I don't have any political stuff on my Facebook, nothing like that. And even if I did, who cares? But I don't. It's not really my avenue. I don't know politics. Don't get into it. Really, honestly, could care less. I'll be honest with you guys, but that's me. He messages me, direct messages me that I'm a racist. If I don't like Biden and I'm a racist, because that must mean I like Trump. And he blocks me. Doesn't give me the time to respond. Simply blocks me. Called me a racist, blocks me. Okay, whatever. I left it at that, guys. Not a big deal. I don't know the guy on a personal level. I let it go. Well, guess what? Guess what I see on Facebook in a Bills Mafia group chat. And the only reason I saw this is because my guys that come on here on Tuesdays, Mafia Talk, Jay and Big Cuz, we're talking about, obviously, the halftime show that, and they were weighing in on the discussion. And who comes into the chat? Good old Don Brown. What does Don Brown say? Tommy from Mafia Sports Report is a racist. And my channel's racist. I have racist views on my podcast, which is simply not true. It's a lie, a bold-faced lie. Look, guys, I was on the fence about even talking about this because I'm giving him a time of day. But if he's on Facebook and he's going to Bill's Mafia group chat, spreading lies, I have to respond. Simply not true. This guy doesn't know anything about me, doesn't know where I come from, doesn't know who I hang with, who I broke bread with, knows nothing about me. And it's just, look, man, we're going to all have difference of opinions, right? We're going to have different takes. It don't mean I have hate in my heart, right? So it's just crazy when they feel like, that you don't agree with what they're saying, then all of a sudden they're going to label you. And guys, it's craziness. I don't stand for that shit. If you guys know me, you know who I'm about when I am, and I stay on my ground. So, for me, I'm going to tell you like this. Don Brown, you're a fucking piece of shit. And you keep spreading lies about me all you want. But I had to say this. I had to come out and say something. This is going to be the last time I address it. But you are the reason why people are like the way they are in this world, right? When they're reacting to people's different takes and opinions, and you're going to label them as something because they don't agree with you and your take. So fuck you, and that's it. So moving on, let's get to Bills talk, and that's it. So yeah, fuck that guy. All right, yeah, I think I got Mikey in the building, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Mikey now. Let's bring up Mikey. I think Mikey's here. I keep Mikey out of this, guys, because Mikey, I didn't even tell Mikey about this, by the way, guys, but I just can't stand that, man. I can't stand people acting that way. I've been watching a long time. You far from racist, never got that vibe from, yeah, bro. And like I said, once again, everybody knows how I am, bro. So it's crazy. You're not a racist, bro. I see your character. Thank you, Red Furnace. I appreciate you, bro. And it's just wild to me. What up, Mikey? What up?
Damn you,
Mikey?
Tommy! You going on other people's podcasts, starting crap.
What are you talking about?
Did you say you went on a podcast?
No.
The guy was in that person's chat?
No. This was
okay.
Our guys, Mafia
you,
Talk, Jay and
yeah.
Because they were they were in a message board on Facebook, and
okay.
when you're friends with somebody, those feeds pop up in your Facebook. So I'm friends with Big Cuz, I'm friends with Jay, and I see my name in a message board in a Bill's Mafia saying Tommy and his podcast is racist. And I'm like,
okay, well,
what the fuck? Right? Like, and it's the same guy, and you know the story behind that, so I'm not gonna get too much into that, but
that's fine.
But it's crazy. I had to speak, I had to say something. That's strike 2. I let the first one go, Mikey. I can't let that ride, man.
Brother. Like,
can't bite my tongue on that, man.
The only thing a person has is their name, right? You know, at some point you got to stand up and set the record straight.
Yeah, bro.
Because if you don't, and someone listens to it and takes that as gospel because you're not defending yourself, that's also
exactly
something. So I get that.
It's a bad label too. I'm not.
It is.
You know what I mean? This guy. You know what I mean? So I couldn't let. If he called me a fucking asshole or a bitch, who cares? I could care less. But and not only that, he's trying to harm my channel. So fuck that guy. And I'm sure he'll hear this and respond to this. But this will be the last time I address this shit.
All right,
anyways, let's get into Bill's talk.
Problems, Tommy. Always starting problems.
Dude, I'm always. Hey, you know what? But I'm gonna end them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end them. Yes. I'm gonna end them.
Weston, let's start with this. Bean Island, baby. I am.
Yeah,
I'm
BB.
excited.
BB. So yeah,
I'm
if y'all
excited.
don't know, hashtag BB, hashtag BIBI. That's I'm gonna try to make that a thing. Look, even Weston Brewster, he knows, Kansas City Chiefs fan, he understands what it's about. It's about Bean Island, and no, he actually does. But don't you don't need to do that. Don't
Robert.
I don't want the war. How you doing, Robert?
Joe Brady loves cocaine.
Damn, does he? The pink stuff? Is he hanging out with stuff on dicks? Hey, that's true. That's true. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
If no one gives a shit about you, that kind of tells you something.
Yeah.
And no one says someone. Yeah, like that. Where that's gone is wild. Like
it's wild. You can't have a different take.
The world
a different opinion. It's crazy,
the world
bro.
is wild nowadays.
Yeah, man.
It's what I love about this channel. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things about this channel and the group that we have that comes in here. We can have debates. We can be on completely opposite sides of takes, and keep it civil. It's my favorite thing. It's why I like doing this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Me and you don't always agree. Me and the chat don't always agree. As long as we can keep it civil, like we can agree to disagree on items, and that's awesome. It's a place you can come, you can be safe, you can have the conversation you need to have and move on about your day. I heard Tommy wants McJoke back as DC. you think McDermott's in the coaching running next year? You think he gets a job?
Oh yeah. You mean like yeah. Because there'll be more there's firings every year.
Yeah, but there was like 10 this year.
Yeah, I just don't see him I don't see him not getting a job back, and I don't see him taking a lesser role. You know what I mean? Like as a defensive coordinator, like I just don't see that happening. It's not like he totally shit the bed here and failed. He failed just getting to the Super Bowl. Hey, Dr. Pepper, look at you, Mikey. By the way, for some odd reason, we are not on X tonight, and I think it's something with StreamYard, but it's not streaming. So sorry, guys.
At least we're on YouTube.
But
like last time, we weren't even on YouTube.
Yeah. So I don't know what the deal is, but we are on YouTube today. So just not on X. I don't know why.
Oh no, I do not want TJ Watt. I love TJ Watt as a player. I do, like, man, that guy disappears so much. TJ Watt is a future Hall of Famer who's breaking down. Every year he's missing time now. Every year. Something
like his brother. Like his brother, right?
Like, I love him as a player, but no, I love to watch him from afar. I would not want him as part of my team because I have a feeling that he would come here, he would get hurt, and that we'd be paying freaking $35 million a year for a guy sitting on the sidelines, and I don't want to see that anymore. That's right. I am a doctor, and decided not to be lazy. Listen, I told everyone I was taking a week off, but yes, I decided not to be lazy. I came back, and I'm back every Monday night. I'll be here Monday nights. I won't be here Fridays. We decided not to go last Monday because Tommy did the Super Bowl. So we switched it to Friday this week. But on a normal week-to-week basis, until we get closer to the season, I'll only do Mondays. With work, I just don't have the time to continue doing both days.
Correct. Yeah, today's a special day because I missed Monday, and man, I needed a break Monday, bro. I was on here almost 5 hours, bro. So I was like, man, I was exhausted.
I didn't even know you were doing the Super Bowl. I would have popped in with you. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I do them every year because we're not
I went golfing. Yeah, I went golfing because I wasn't going to watch the Patriots Super Bowl. So I went golfing. Then I think we texted a little bit back and forth, but for the most part, I watched the second half of the game. I didn't watch the first half. I was golfing the first half. But the second half of the game, I did catch the second half, which is the good half to watch because that's when Seattle just put the hurting on them and ran away with it.
You didn't miss much.
I know. I think I watched the most exciting pieces, which was the second half, and there still wasn't all that exciting.
No. It definitely was. Like I said, I think the most. That's what I said earlier. The most talked about conversation was the halftime show, right? Which is wild. Like the debate on the halftime show over the Super Bowl. Like we weren't talking about what an exciting first half. Wow, Darnold, wow, May through, no, it's like there wasn't much to talk about. It was field goal city up until that point. Yeah. And I got to say, so let's get to that real quick before we get into the Bill stuff. So what's your thoughts on, because there's a lot of people talking about the Patriots, right? And their journey to the Super Bowl. I still think it was earned. I get that they caught some breaks.
They won. They did. They caught some big breaks.
Yeah, they did.
But at the end of the day, they beat the teams they were supposed to beat. We did not.
Absolutely.
You got to respect the fact that they did beat the teams they were supposed to beat. They got there. And what happened to them was kind of what I expected to happen when they ran into a good team.
Yes. And I think that's why we predicted Seattle to win that game too, because I just felt like that was honestly the last really juggernaut. Or not even juggernaut. The really tough battle was against us in that game. Like that was the last kind of game where they had adversity, a team that actually could challenge them. And I thought Seattle was just too much on the defensive side. Also, I really felt like going into the playoffs, and that's why I wish, Mikey, we got past Denver, because Drake May, and it's kind of what I feared for him, when the big lights hit, what was Drake May gonna be like? Was he gonna step up and be the regular season Drake May that we saw, or was he gonna take a step back and kind of curl up because the lights were a little bit too bright? And the lights were a little bit too bright for Drake May. Man, he turned the ball over. I think he had 8 fumbles altogether. Which is
he was not
crazy.
Good. The problem really with that is the quarterbacks he played before that turned the ball over more than he did. So no one talked about it because of how bad CJ Stroud looked. And they didn't play a Bo Nix. They played a backup.
Chargers.
And Herbert didn't play great. Like,
no.
He was carried by that defense.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Into the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And you tip your cap. Like, listen, you have a defense that can carry you in. He made plays when he had to make plays.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. When crunch time and they needed it, he did come up and step up and make plays. But man, it was not a great playoffs for him. But he's a young kid. He's super talented,
and that's what I exactly.
I don't think it's going to ruin him by any means. I think he's going to bounce back and he's going to be fine and he'll have good seasons. I don't think he was the superstar MVP that everyone thought he was. This year, like he started off so hot, but down the stretch he kind of faded.
He cooled down. Yeah,
he cooled down, but his defense stepped up in the second half of the year.
I thought he started a little slow. To be honest with you, I thought he started a little slow, and then he heated up, right? Like after like our game, that's when really honestly it was after our game because the first 2 games a little shaky, was it? They lost to the Raiders, they lost to who was the other team they lost to? Pittsburgh, and then they beat us, right? And that's when I think he was starting to feel get a little mojo, right? And they were feeling good. They were stacking wins. But remember, he didn't have a 300-yard passing game till way later in the season. Remember that? It was like a big deal. He didn't. So, but like I said, though, once he got to the playoffs and he got to see better defenses, because really, if you think about it
was the best defenses.
The Chargers, the Texans, and the Broncos. And Seattle.
And
I mean, he had
the four of the best defense in the NFL.
Right. So he had juggernaut, right? The problem was those first three opponents, or the lucky break was the Chargers.
Their offenses weren't good. Their offenses
were beat up. They weren't good. They were beat up. They caught them at the perfect time, at home too. And then you got the Texans, who everybody said their offense just blows. And if you can just do just enough, you'll beat the Texans. And sure enough, that's what they did. But look how poorly he played. Look how many turnovers he had. Like, Texans did all they can to keep their offense in it. Texans offense just was terrible. And then you go in the Denver game. They put up 10 points. You know what I mean? If Bo Nix is in there, I hate to say it, they probably don't win that game, right? Denver more than likely goes to the Super Bowl. And then you play Seattle. And I got to say, and like to your point, boy, the Patriots defense, man, and Christian Gonzalez that dude is sick, bro. I got to say, he might be also probably the best in the game.
I still think Surtain is probably the best.
He's up there, but he was making unreal plays.
But also, some of that is on Darnold. He was putting balls behind guys, allowing him to get in there. There was a couple really nice plays, like the bomb down, to Shaheed that he got up and he was in. But like the touchdown one, like if Darnold puts that ball out in front, that's a touchdown easy, right before the half.
Yeah. I thought
he threw that behind him.
Yeah, he had a rough outing. He definitely had a rough outing. But
he didn't turn the ball over, and that's all.
But he didn't turn the ball over. Exactly, and his defense was so good that it kind of didn't make it. It didn't matter. They got just enough in it. They broke Kenneth Walker. They leaned on him. I thought they went away from him in the second half, and they should have kept pounding the rock. I said, "Ben, what are you doing?" They were doing a lot of play action. It finally because
they started sending the safeties up to stop the run. Yeah. So when the play action, it opened things up. That's how they got the touchdown to Barner and some of the other big plays. I thought Seattle's game plan was really smart for the Super Bowl.
It was, but I don't think their offensive game plan went as they thought it would go. I think they wanted to pass a little bit more, but I don't think they realized how good Christian Gonzalez was going to wrap up.
I didn't understand why he kept going at Christian Gonzalez.
I don't
he just
either.
Kept throwing at him. I'm like, okay.
He kept throwing at him. And I think once they realized how the Patriots were playing them, then they leaned on the running game. And Kenneth Walker and everybody, and that's the one thing the Patriots didn't do well this year was stop the run. They weren't the best against the run. The run defense was shaky. So you saw they were gashing them. But that game, Mikey, like I said, man, ultimately at the end of the day, the Patriots defense could only do so much. They eventually cracked, gave up a touchdown, and that was a wrap, right?
Yep.
Like you said, man, the kid will learn from this. And talking about Drake May, that's still a good team. They got a lot of money. And that's a team we got to contend with, man. We got to battle twice a year. So hopefully we can get our shit right.
Yeah, we'll find out this offseason. It's around the corner. All right, let's jump in because we're getting behind in the chats and people want to talk about Bills. Red Furnace starts with, do we bring Bosa back? I don't think so. I don't think we're bringing Bosa back. I really don't.
No.
One of my favorite things about this offseason is the complete defensive makeover that we're about to go through. I think some of the mainstays are going to be gone. Like, I don't think you see Epinesa back. I don't think you see Bosa back. I don't think you see Daquan back. I don't think you see Milano back. I don't think you see DeMar and Trey and a bunch of those guys back. I just don't think you do. They fit McDermott's system. I don't think so. Not this new attacking style that Jim Leonard's bringing in. I do think you'll see some cuts. And Tron might be one of those that are cut. I'm not sure how he fits into the new scheme that we're going to be running.
I mean, Leonard brung him up in one of his pressers that he did or interview. I forget what it was. But, he didn't shy away from saying that shy away from the question about Tehran if he fits in the defense, and he said, he feels like that he could see him fitting in the defense. So pretty much. So for me, it's about where, right? Where does he put him? How creative is he? Because I still think Tehran's a good player. Does he put him in safety? Right?
No.
Could Tehran play? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But I'm just
I think
saying,
he's too small.
what could he do with him? Right? I believe that too. But
for the money, I'm not sure Tehran fits what we're trying to do, because I don't think we're going to be a dime defense like we have been in the past.
No.
It sounds like they want to use Cole Bishop all over the place. So we might be looking at Cole Bishop, being dropped down as, that Buffalo nickel that people love to use to talk about all the time. And then us bringing in a couple different types of safeties. I'm so excited about the defensive change, because it's been 9 years of the same thing, and they want to attack.
Yeah.
And I just watched the entire postseason of attacking style defenses rather than and they were so good. I'm so excited to see the difference.
You see Seattle's,
Seattle, Denver, the Texans, even the Patriots. Say what you want about the Patriots, they're an attacking style defense, and I love that about what they have going on.
You gotta be aggressive. You gotta show different looks. You can't. That's one thing too about Jim Leonard. He's not, the one thing I like that he said, he's not going to always be in a 3-4 either. It's not, because everyone's thinking this is going to be just strictly a 3-4 defense, but it's not, right? He's going to mix things up. And that's one thing that McDermott didn't do here. He pretty much stayed in a 4-3 kind of zone, which it just, I thought it worked early in this, in McDermott's tenure here. But I think as the years went by and the players that were perfectly matched for that scheme got older or broken down, he just couldn't find their replacements, right? Or he was too late in the replacement, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like Cole Bishop, great, but he was way late. He should have probably tried to,
should have brought a guy in a year earlier, or two sooner than he did.
Exactly.
And let him sit behind Poyer and Hyde
right.
for a year or two. And that's kind of what happened this year. We had to bring Poyer back, and then he was on the practice squad, and we had to bring him up because we didn't have guys who could actually fill in. And Rapp went downhill. If you notice, once we put Poyer in, you saw that back end get way better.
Yeah.
It was what it was.
Yeah. But I'm with you though, real quick. I'm with you on, I wouldn't bring back, to be honest with you, most of the treads of McDermott's defense. Most of the guys that were just right for the defense, that were kind of molded for this defense. And a lot of those guys, to be honest with you guys, are older players anyways, that are kind of broken down or into the tail end of their career. I mean, we're going to be honest, right? There's some younger guys, AJ Epinesa, but AJ Epinesa, look, man, he was fine while he was here. I don't have hate on him, but I wouldn't resign him.
Rookie AJ at the 280 pounds would be in perfect, outside DN in the 3-4.
Yeah.
This version of AJ, I don't think he fits a 3-4 at all.
Yeah. If it was me, I think you cut Tehran. You don't re-sign guys like Daquan, obviously. Let those kind of guys walk. You got to address the linebacker position, obviously, which they'll do. And by the way, I see this comment here too about Deion Dawkins. It's kind of a thing floating around this week about if the Bills should trade. That's
not going anywhere.
Terrible. Terrible idea. Anyways, it's awful. I would not trade that guy. We just got this offensive line right, and honestly, we're having two guys that we're on the fence about re-signing, right? We don't know yet. So really, what do you got left? If you take away Edwards and McGovern,
you have the right side.
You got it.
You'll only have the right side. That's it.
Right. And you get rid of Dawkins, like, now what? Right now you can't have that. You got to have your staple at left tackle and Deion Dawkins, because you don't know who's coming back or who's filling in for Edwards, if it's Edwards or right. And then you don't know. So you got to have some kind of guys that know this, been there, knows what like, you can't just retool the whole offensive line. That's me. You got three guys for sure are going to be on this offensive line, right? You got three.
Who did that?
Dawkins, Brown, and
Kansas City did that when. Yeah. You know who did try to do that? Remember, Kansas City tried to do that when they got rid of Orlando Brown at left tackle, and he left. And then they thought they could just plug and play anybody, and they just couldn't.
You can't.
And it's been years that they've been trying to get themselves a left tackle. They drafted Josh Simmons this last year, and he might be their long-term answer, but there's no guarantee that he's going to be the long-term answer there.
Is that exactly? And like, look, man, Dion isn't old enough that he's breaking down. Nope, he's not. And for me, this is what you do for Dion. For me, you either figure out what you got in Grable, and you go, okay, could he be his replacement down the line, right? That's up to the offensive line coach, right? And obviously the defensive line and the offensive line, and Brady and staff, right? If he's not, you got it. For me, okay, prepare yourself. Draft a tackle, right? Just like we were talking about. Prepare yourself for Dawkins' exit down the line, because Dawkins is getting up there in age, right? But I don't feel like he's breaking down either, though. Like you said, my knock on Dawkins, it's not so much that he's breaking down, it's that he takes games off for some odd reason. But he's a hell of a player. You know what I mean? I don't want that guy going anywhere. He's talking about, by the way, losing weight. He wants to lose a little weight. All right. Let's see what, get a little bit better movement on his feet. We'll see what happens with that.
I would take that any day of the week. Ultimately, that would be ideal. Get him back down, to a better fighting weight. I think he would move a little bit better as well.
Exactly. Maybe he felt like he was getting a little bit heavy, where he's getting stuck. Maybe you know what I mean, with his feet. Where his movement wasn't going as well as he wanted it to go. So,
well, he's not as young as he once was. He's not as young as he once was.
Exactly.
He's. They said I think he said he came in around 360 this year. That's a big boy.
No, it's a big. Yeah, it's a big guy. Yeah, especially at the tackle position there. So.
Yeah, Walter, I'm with you on that with the Bosa and Miller and Floyd but that's a McDermott defense. Like, they don't attack, they rush for, and that's pretty much it. So, I will be so pissed on draft day if Ruben Bain falls to the Chiefs.
I can't believe that he's even fallen in draft board. I saw him falling on some draft boards. I'm a little
Jalen Carter fell to the fucking Eagles. Like, he was the best defensive player on the board, and they fell to the Eagles. Like, Ruben Bain falls to the Chiefs, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I don't think so.
The Eagles want Knox? Really? Okay. I don't think we'll get rid of Knox, and here's why I don't think we're gonna get rid of Knox. Because Kincaid can't stay healthy. I think Knox comes back. I think he comes back at a discount. We'll do something with his contract and knock it down from the 17 million to probably right around 9 or 10 million is my guess. But Knox is the insurance policy for Kincaid not being healthy. It's just what it is.
They're like both insurance policies, because it seems like when one comes back, the other gets hurt. It just seems like they kind of both have that with him, right? Knox is hurt, then Kincaid steps up. Kincaid gets hurt, Knox steps up. And for me, Mikey's right. Like, I don't think he goes anywhere, because I think he has a good relationship with Brandon Beane, to be honest with you, and Pagula. And I think he has obviously a great relationship with Josh Allen. What he'll wind up doing, and Mikey's probably right on this, he's just going to wind up doing a pay cut. He's going to wind up doing a pay cut. He wants to stay in Buffalo. Nobody's going to be mad at the Bills keeping Dawson Knox if he does a pay cut. Nobody. So, and I still feel like Dawson Knox can be reliable if used correctly. And when we go to him, he's been pretty reliable. So I don't see the need in cutting Dawson Knox. Just don't extend Dalton Kincaid. Right, that would be the only thing I got to say about that.
Yeah, right. Trade Dawkins just to create another hole. What a fantastic idea. Right. I'm with you. I'm with you on this, Cato. I feel like people are tiptoeing around, keep saying restructure, no cuts. Knox is a big one. If we cut Knox creates almost 10 million in cap space.
It is a lot,
but it creates a hole.
It creates a hole that you got to fill. Correct. Because then you're down to Kincaid, who's not reliable as far as health wise. We all know this. And you're down to
second year Jackson Haas,
who's really a blocking tight end. I mean, he could be using offense here and there, but let's be real, guys. He's a blocking tight end, right? Mm-hmm. And then what? Then what do you do, right? Then you get a 1 year guy, right? Again, another 1 year guy.
I'm so done with the 1 year bullshit.
Right. Or you draft. I mean, they could draft if they see a good tight ends in this draft, which I haven't really looked at yet. I mean, that's a possibility that they could draft a tight end for his replacement. But I don't know. For me, I feel like Kincaid would be willing to and Mikey. We said it earlier. He could get released and they could sign him back to a really cheap deal too. I mean, if he's willing to work with Buffalo, which I would assume he would because he's worked with them before, that is an option as well. So you get your money, you say, right, back in the cap, and then you sign him to a 2-year deal. You know what I mean?
And I think he would rather just take the pay cut, because if he's going to take the pay cut down around 10 million, right? If we cut him, it's going to be it's going to be a 7 million dead cap. We'll probably resign him for a couple $1 million, which is all going to be right around that 9 million cap hit that we already have. We might as well not release him and just have him take the pay cut and keep him here. Like, it just seems like a better fit.
I've seen it before, though. I've seen that before. So I'm just saying it wouldn't shock me. Real quick, we do got a poll going on right now, Mikey.
Okay.
The poll is what's the Buffalo Bills' biggest need in the 2026 offseason? So the options are receiver, edge rusher, linebacker, and safety. Right now, there is 32 votes in 75%.
I think you're missing a big one.
Say receiver. Well, I only could fit 4.
But I think you're missing one of the most important.
I was going to put defensive tackle, but which one am I missing?
Edge rusher. Edge.
I put edge. I have edge.
You did edge? Okay, you have edge? Okay.
Yeah. Edge is number 2. So right now, 75% says receiver. Edge is at 9%.
Do you have linebacker?
Linebackers at 9%.
Okay.
Linebackers
Wide
at 9%.
receiver.
And safety's at 6%. That's the update.
I would
so
say
right now,
edge right now, because there's 2 edges that are going to be on this roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really 3, but Hoyt's going to be on PUP to start the year.
Correct.
It's Rousseau and it's Solomon. You know, Landon Jackson, we have no idea what that guy's going to be at all. You know, I'm excited about Solomon because he's moving back to the 3-4, which he played in college. I'm excited to see what he can bring. If what he did in college, if Leonard can get something out of him in the pros, because he didn't fit the 4-3 at all.
No. I mean, look, for me, there's a couple ways about going about this. Like we said, you could trade. You know, obviously, there's rumors about what's his name with the Raiders with Las Vegas, Max Crosby, right? You could trade for him. That's an option, right? There you go. You're good to go. Hendrickson, I believe, is a free agent. Is that correct? But he's aging, right? So do you want to? I don't know what his value is going to be, but I'm sure it's not going to be cheap. So you have options to either trade or Hendrickson, but then you do got to worry about receiver at some point. Do you draft? Do you trade one? For me, Mikey, I would trade for a receiver and I would draft an edge with my first pick, and I would try to trade up in the first round to get one of the better edges coming out. Now, I saw in someone's mock draft the Bills potentially taking the other Miami edge. I can't believe what's his name, Mike?
It starts with an M. I can't think of his.
Yeah, Marzosa, or something like that. But the only problem with him, and I like him, but he's an older. He would be an older draft pick. I think he's 25. Mendoza, I think his name is. I should know this. But he's 25, so you're not going to get a lot of time out of him. But he's good. He's a good player. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he's interesting, but I would rather them trade up if you're going to get an edge, right? Try to get one of the top 3, right? That's what I would do.
Also, I don't think he fits that 4-3 system. I think he would actually be, he wouldn't be considered an outside linebacker, edge rusher. He would actually probably, because of his size, he's like 6'3", 280 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So he's a bigger dude. So I don't think he would be the bendy outside backer that we'd be looking for. I think he would actually play along the D line as an edge. And I don't know if that's really where you want to be spending that type of capital on that. You can find that later in the draft.
No,
those
you can.
type of big guys that do those type of things. You want those bendy dudes, you know,
correct,
the small,
correct.
The Benitos and the Hunters and those type of guys that can come off the edge and do some damage. That are fast. Because here's the thing: a lot of the people in the NFL, the quarterbacks, get the ball out in 2.5 seconds. You need someone fast enough to get there. That's one of the problems Groot has had. Groot's really good. He's just not quick. So he's always a step or two late to the quarterback. He's usually around him and causing pressures, but he just doesn't get home because he's not quick enough and they get the ball out fast.
Well, it's not even about that. Well, it's about that too. But what I noticed about our defensive line as a whole, what we weren't really good at was pushing the pocket, which if you saw like Seattle, right, in the Super Bowl, man, they pushed the shit out of the pocket, right? I mean, one of those sacks, they pushed the guy right back into Drake.
We don't have that
right?
big
Like,
beast inside to collapse it.
We don't have it. And I hope they, that's another position I wish they would figure out, because if you could collapse that pocket and you have that edge, Groot would look way better, even though, like you said, he may not have that speed or that quickness around the edge, but his life, it would make life way more easier for him when that pocket's collapsing. But yeah, we'll see. The thing is, Mike, we have a lot of holes to fill, I believe, on defense rather than offense. I think the one key on offense is receiver. I think that's everyone's talking about. Offensive line too is something that we should worry about a little bit with the center position. Who's going to be our center? I doubt McGovern comes back, but I would say the defense as a whole, Mikey, there's a lot of spots that we need to fill. There's a lot, because I think we're going to get rid of a lot, or not a lot, but we're going to get rid of some pieces, and we need to add some pieces. So yeah,
I want to hit this one. Didn't you open the show congratulating the most interesting man
I did.
in the chat
I did.
on his 3-year anniversary?
I did.
So we're not ignoring you.
Yeah.
Tommy opened the show and saw your message and read it.
Yeah, no, I said it right away. Yep.
Yeah.
Go back to the first 5 minutes. Anyways, real quick, too, to speak on the defense, we did a hire today. I actually texted you, but I know you were busy at work. John Fox.
I love that hire. Can I tell you why I like that hire?
Fucking hire. Go ahead.
Because we have two very young coaches in prime positions. We have a first-time head coach in Joe Brady, and we have a first-time DC in Jim Leonard. We have Pete, who's going to help Joe Brady on the offensive side from an offensive standpoint, but not the head coaching piece. And John Fox was a fantastic defensive coordinator before he was a really good head coach. So having that guy in the building as a senior defensive assistant to assist and help guide and help him navigate the rookie mistakes is such a smart hire. I love that hire. It was such a good hire.
That guy's been chilling. He's been doing I think he was doing like national media stuff, and then I think he stopped doing that, and he was just chilling. I had no idea his name was even being floated out there, and I had to do a double take. I'm like, John, is this the same John Fox? Right? And I'm like, son of a bitch,
I love that
dude. And I'm with you, and I even tweeted it out right away. I'm like, dude, what did I say? I was like, it's a great addition. Defensive-minded coach with a ton of experience. He'll be a big help to the defense right away. He brings leadership and support for the first-time head coach, Joe Brady, and first-time defensive coordinator, Jim Leonard. And I'm telling you, that's so important. Yeah.
It reminds me of when McVay got his job, and he brought in a retired Wade Phillips. The difference is Wade was the DC. John Fox is a senior defensive assistant. So really he's going to have more time to help where he's needed, whether it's in the defensive room, whether it's head coaching stuff. Like I think that was a smart move.
And I mean, if you go on John Fox, his track record, where he's been, what he's done. I mean, outside of Chicago, which Chicago was a dumpster fire. And I think he spoke about it. Like, there was this, it was really, he went into a fucked up situation. They didn't give him enough time. So I give him a pass on that. But when he went to Carolina, actually Denver first, I think it was, or no, it was Carolina. I think it was Carolina first. They were a hot mess. They had like 1-2 games the year before. He took them to the Super Bowl in 2 years. Denver, the same thing. They were like a hot mess, and he took them to a Super Bowl not too long after that as well. So, yeah, he didn't win the Super Bowls, but he got them there. He turned franchises around and he got him to Super Bowls, right? Bad franchises. So I got nothing but respect for that guy. I think he's going to be a huge help for a very young coaching staff outside of Carmichael. But most of the guys are kind of young. I mean, most of them. So this is key, man. This is a guy that if Joe Brady needs to talk about something, right? This guy's seen it all, man. Been coaching for a long time. So great hire, Mikey. Really good hire.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. Not overly fond of trading for DJ Moore. I wouldn't mind the signing of Romeo Dobbs if it's a decent contract. I don't want to overpay for the guy. I wouldn't hate Romeo Dobbs. I think he's a really good receiver. He'd probably walk in and be one of our best receivers. He's not the alpha that I want. But if we were just going that route and then we were going to draft in the first or second round a receiver, I'd be okay with that. Walter says he knows it's a different position, but what Sanders did this past season reminds me of the mismanagement Cody Ford had started career. I hated that about McDermott. He would play guys out of position. I hated that so much all the time. I'm excited for Sanders that he's going to be in a system that they'll put him in a position and just let him learn. Moving him around and making him go play DN because they didn't have enough DNs was criminal to your second round pick. Criminal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a McDermott special.
Yeah. And, I brung this up on multiple times, but I brung this up tonight too in the chat on Post Podium that when we talk about like guys that didn't work out or hasn't worked out or, we feel, that they're bust or whatever, especially on the defensive side, a lot of the times, guys, we don't talk about or people don't bring up, and me and Mikey do, but about scheme, right? Could some of these players just not, be meant for the scheme that McDermott was throwing out? Also, player development. Player development's huge. Your coaching staff. Do you have the right coaching staff in-house to get these players playing at their best ability, right? In the scheme that you're asking them to play in. On top of that, I don't feel like, and we're going to find out real shortly or soon enough if this was a McDermott problem with some of the guys that are coming back, like the Gregory Rousseaus of the world. Was it a scheme issue, or was it just Groot is what he is, right? Or can Groot be better? Can Groot be more? Can they develop Groot or move him around, on the line to get him more productive, right? We're going to find out. I just feel like a lot of the time these players weren't developed right. Some were. I'm not going to totally knock them. I felt like McDermott did a great job with safeties and DBs. Yeah, I thought he did a good job.
But not the D-line. Like I'm excited for Oliver. I'm excited for Groot. I'm excited for Sanders. Yeah. I'm excited for a lot of these young guys because now they're moving to an attacking style rather than just playing, okay, play your zone. We're going to play this, like there was no games up front, any of that type of stuff.
Correct.
Like
with experienced defensive coaches now. Yep. You got John Fox coming there, right? You got Leonard, who's young, who sees the game differently, right? You got all these guys. So you got experience. You got youth as far as like mindset goes. They're gonna put their minds, their brains together. They're gonna make this line work, man. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot different, a lot better, in my opinion, in 2026.
A lot of really young, smart, up and coming defensive coaches too. We got like Oklahoma's former he was the defense coordinator.
DB,
now he's like a DB coach and passing game coordinator or whatever. Like I liked what Joe Brady did to go out and and assemble this coaching staff. He has veterans. He has some youth on it. Like it's a good mix. I'm excited for what the Bills can be moving forward with these guys.
Yeah, me too. And that was my biggest fear when we hired Joe Brady. I wasn't crazy about the hire. Obviously, we all know that, right? And I'm still a little bit about him. However, what he's done, and I'm sure Bean is a little bit involved as well with his coaching staff search. I felt like they put a lot of good pieces, like we said, around Brady, a first-time youngest coach in the NFL, to make this work. right? At least as much as you can, right? Because they could have surrounded him, or he could have brung back Babbage, or just guys he was used to, or just a bunch of young guys. And, they didn't do that. They got a lot of mixture, like you said, of youth and wisdom. And I'm excited for it. I really, really am. And I just pray to God, Mikey, Brady isn't McDermott 2.0, right? Where he's stuck in his ways, doesn't want to change, gets a little bit, pointing the finger at everybody else, right? We just saw, by the way, a former coach of the Buffalo Bills win a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And Leslie Frazier. Yeah. And what's that defense all about in Seattle, right?
I mean, he wasn't calling. He was the senior defensive
but
assistant.
Sure he had it. I'm sure he had a stamp on it.
Leslie Frazier is what for Seattle is what John Fox is going to be for.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he's a former head coach, former defensive coordinator for a young coach in McDonald. That's exactly who we just brought in with John Fox. Is that type of coach?
Exactly. But that's not what McDermott wanted, right? When he got rid of Frazier, it was just everybody within youth. I want to be in charge. I want to call play. It's my scheme. You're not going to do anything different. You're not going to have a say. Yeah, that's it. What my way goes is, and nobody had a say, right? Not even on offense, right? At least how we feel. Now we'll find out. We're going to find out.
In the coming years, we'll hear something. Listen, I appreciate everything McDermott did for the Buffalo Bills. He changed the franchise.
Yeah.
Through and through. His time just ran out. Like it was needed. Josh is going into year is his 30th, he's in year 30 season, really. It's like what, year 9 for him, or year 8 for
year 9.
Year 9.
No, year 9. He's going to year 9.
30.
Yeah.
He's gonna be 30 going into this year. Like it was time. If we were gonna ever give Josh another voice to listen to, this was the time to do it. It was now or never.
Absolutely.
So I'm
I said earlier excited. Too. Were you on? No, I don't think you were on. I asked maybe you were. I asked the question, what is Brady's window? I mean, how many years until you go, okay, it's not working, we better move on? For me, because I'm going on the Allen window, right? His prime, right? What did we say? About 4 to 5 years of Josh Allen at his prime, his best, right? I say 2. Right. If Brady by year 2 hasn't gotten his team where it should be, where we don't see real movement, you got to move on, because now you only got about 3 left, and you better make the, you know what I mean? Because I think if that happens, everybody's gone. I think Bean's fired by then. I think everybody's gone.
I think it also depends. I also think it depends, because Joe Brady could be a fantastic head coach, and Bean really could be the problem, and he just isn't good. I don't believe that's the case.
Right.
But if Joe Brady's putting master classes on with a lackluster roster, and they're just doing what they did down the patch,
that's true.
Duct tape and holes everywhere and like that type of stuff. Like, okay, maybe it's not Brady. Maybe he gets more than the 2.
Correct.
But
I'm with you.
But if he's the reason, and he's mismanaging things, and he's the reason, yes, I'm with you. 2 years and out the door.
And I should have rephrased that. When I said was if Bean brings in the product, meaning, okay, here's your guy, right? You wanted a 1, here's your 1. You want a defensive line or an edge, I got you in it. Like, if he brings in the talent, I don't think we can sit back and be like,
2 to 3 years.
The talent's the problem. That's what I would say 2 if the talent's here. After 2 years, if we haven't reached, let's say, a championship, even a AFC championship game, you can't fuck around. Right.
If we haven't, I was saying Super Bowl. I'd give him 3 years to get to the Super Bowl. Otherwise,
I would 2 if he hasn't even reached. I mean, like
if you made the AFC Championship and you ran into a Kansas City and it's one of those shootouts, right?
Right.
The players are the reason. Drop pass, or Josh had a bad game, or whatever the case may be. At that point, and you can't point it at Brady as the failure. I would give him the 3rd year, but at some point, the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, or I guess you just can't. You can't give him that long leash like you did McDermott. Is my point.
Or if Brady looks like he's a superstar and it's just not working at 32, do you follow the Detroit Lions method and ship Josh?
Man, move on. Right. And then, but you see, the Rams did it but they got back a veteran for a young guy.
No, the Detroit.
I know, but Detroit got. But the Rams are the one that succeeded in the trade. You get what I mean?
Detroit changed their entire franchise by that one deal.
They did, but they didn't. Where'd they get? The Rams got to a Super Bowl, and they almost got to another.
They won a Super Bowl.
And won a Super Bowl. That's right. Real quick, speaking about that, did you hear? I have to bring this up. Did you hear, because I'll forget, about this that came out? Let me see if I can pull it up here. It was, okay, right here. The 2-point conversion and the Rams Seahawks got an assist from Terry McCauley. Did you hear about this? It's a big story, Mikey. Okay. So during the regular season, remember that game between the Seahawks and the Rams went in overtime, right? Okay. There's been, I guess, multiple sources that said that, let's see here. Let me read that. Okay. I got to get...
okay, while you're finding it,
yeah.
let me hit some of these. Let me hit a few of these. What's going on, Nomad Chad? Welcome to chat. I thoroughly enjoyed watching May and the Pats get clobbered. I think we all did. I think we all did. We getting JJ and Crosby. Oh my God, that's a lot of freaking money. Someone also put in here earlier, talked about us trading for Crosby and AJ Brown. That is so much money. I just don't know how we make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
That is so much money.
Here it is. So we're told reliably by 3 sources that the league office became aware of the wrinkle that when Amazon Prime Video rules analyst Terry McCauley called Anderson, I guess the ref, Walt Anderson, called Walt Anderson to discuss the play. The implication is clear. Without the phone call from McCauley, whatever his name is, the review process wouldn't have been activated. The 2 points wouldn't have been awarded. So basically, a guy that was not an official called the official and had him.
I don't know how much I believe that.
I don't know. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Because he was in the booth talking live while all that was going on.
This is the following
how do you make the call?
Says Walt Anderson addressed the play on NFL's Network Game Day more than Anderson glossed over the question of how and when someone realized the play that was ruled to be a forward pass was possibly a backward pass and thus a live ball. I don't know, Mikey. I mean,
but McCauley was up in the booth talking to the announcers during that entire thing, so I don't know how he would make the call. It seems weird.
It does seem weird, but I mean, it's all over. I mean, this is all over. This is being talked about all over CBS, NBC, all these everybody's bringing this up. So it's kind of a big deal. Would it shock you though? No. The NFL?
No.
Right. So
the NFL needs to get these refs right. They need to stop making them part-time, making them full-time refs, and send them to fucking class every year. Just like the players review fucking tape, man. Because the officiating this year was so bad. It was so bad.
And by the way, the call was good. The call was accurate.
Yeah,
right?
It was the right call.
Right. But for me, and I don't, you know what, Mikey? I don't even mind that. If you have that, you should make that a thing then. Just have guys up there where we go, okay, they're part of the crew. And they're going to get it right. That's all we want, right, Mike? We want a right call.
The sky judge.
That's it, right? Chime down. Hey, we're gonna look at this, right? I know you guys are.
They're supposed to be doing that, though. They're supposed to,
but they need to do it more. They need to implement that more.
What they need to do is take the the XFL rule where they show you inside what they're going through. They need to do that.
I talked about it, and I would love that because that brings the fan into the actual.
So now
viewing.
people aren't like, oh, they're screwing it because of betting and all. That would fix all that crap.
Right, and you got guys that aren't on the field. You know they're not going either way, right? You can't say they're cheating. They're looking at what we're all looking at, and at least you know what? Even if we disagree, they can at least go, hey,
Like, listen,
this is
we were
what we're seeing.
transparent of what we looked at
Right.
and why
You know-
we made
you know
the
what?
call.
I'll have to settle with that call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless, right? If they still said the Cooks was not a catch, let's say they did that. Let's say this was XFL rules, or and they went up and they showed it and they went over it thoroughly. Fine. You know what? Then it is what it is. I'll still disagree, but okay, I can live with that. But they didn't do that.
They didn't
right?
even
It was
look
kinda
at it.
quick.
They didn't even
No, it
look
was
at it.
quick. Ran through. Yep. Interception. Very disappointing. Very disappointing on stuff like that. They got to fix that.
Yeah. AJ Brown doesn't feel like a real idea to me. I struggle to see Bean making the move when AJ is the reason he would be getting traded as a carbon copy of. We traded Diggs because him and McDermott didn't get along. There was trust issues between those two. Let's be honest. Diggs basically said as much this offseason when he was talking about the Bills and all the guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
He basically said as much if you read between the lines. You know?
Yeah.
I would love Marvin Harrison Jr.
I think that's a kind of a realistic trade that they could make
there's
happen.
a couple of them. Brian
yeah.
Thomas Jr. is probably going to be let go because they paid Jacoby. They have Travis Hunter coming back. Then they had Parker Washington, who broke out this year. There's a good chance Brian Thomas Jr. gets dealt. There's a chance that Marvin Harrison gets dealt. There's some young guys that could be on the move this offseason. And I would absolutely trade for Marvin.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I trade for either one of those guys. Trading our second for AJ Brown is a good price. The problem is, though, Bones, is his contract. The amount of money he's making is just stupid. I don't see how that fits.
The contract, and you got to be realistic and go, how many seasons are we going to really get out of this guy? Not playing wise, like how good he's going to play, about when he's going to want out or, do the Diggs thing or, not get along with the right. You got to put that in consideration. Is it worth it? Right. Can you get 3 years out of him in a Super Bowl? Fine. I'll do that trade. Right.
I think he's going to end up
3 years out of nothing.
I think he's end up in New England though, because he loves Rabel, and that was his first head coach, and he was pissed that he got traded.
And they got the money too.
And
they got the money
Rabel
too.
was pissed. They have the draft picks and the money to make that happen. I think he ends up in New England. Personally.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
I don't think he's worth $30 million either. Restructure his deal.
Yeah,
you'd bring him in, then you'd have to restructure his deal. It's just, he is talented, man. He's what you want. It's what you want. Harrison's more of a name than a game. I'm not hearing the QB play excuse with him. When Wilson, yeah, I'm with you on that, Walter. He hasn't been that guy yet, but the dude's super talented and he's young still.
But he hasn't been terrible either. I think he had 1,000 yards rookie year, right? I think. And I think close to. And I think last year but he still did okay. Let me see I'll pull it up while you're doing the chat.
Yeah. Never thought Marvin would be good as a pro. That's what the likelihood is when he ends up as good as fun. I don't think there's much of a likelihood he ends up as good as his dad, but I do think he's super talented. He can run routes. Okay. He's fast. He's big. Like, he's the X that everyone kind of wants. Him and BTJ. Like, I have a feeling in the right system, Marvin could be really, really good.
Stats. So he did his first year. So a little off. 885 his first year. 608 last year. Averaging 14.3 his first year. 14.8 last year. So that is a positive, right? The average as well. Like, the dude can go deep, right? But he also had not great quarterbacks to work with. Let's be real. Like, Kyle Murray always hurt.
When you look at
backup quarterback,
but when you look at what Wilson did this year, but Wilson did most of his damage with Brissett when Marvin was out. And McBride's, is just a stud. McBride's just a stud.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, Harrison could have been one of those guys where he was all hype. I still think I see the talent
potential. Yeah, I see the potential.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I mean, he could be one of those guys where maybe he was overhyped. How about that? You see the potential, but maybe he was just a little bit. He was so overhyped that people look at the stats and go, ugh. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it should have been better than that. But I think because he was overhyped.
I also wasn't a huge fan of the scheme that they were running there and the routes he was running. Like they just had him running a lot of deep passes. Like it was wild. And they didn't throw it to him a whole lot, honestly. He wasn't in like the one was obviously McBride. But then like even as the season went, he wasn't targeted a ton.
Yeah.
You know,
I just feel like I feel like the Marvin Harrison, I feel like Pittman is an like I'm just going over options that are more that could happen more, more realistic. Like Justin Jefferson, of course, I would love, but the chances are so slim of Minnesota getting rid of him.
He does love our head coach, though.
He does. He loves Joe Brady. He loves bringing up his name. But listen, Minnesota would have to eat some of that contract. They're not going to do that. Oh yeah, I know because I had to redo it.
Okay.
I turned it off, turned it back on multiple times. Finally gonna. But I just don't see it happening, man. I think Minnesota would piss off a lot of people, and I just don't see it happening.
I would not hate Marvin Harrison and Christian Kirk signings this offseason.
And Kirk would be a fairly cheap signing.
And he's really good friends with Josh. Play inside or outside. You know what I'm more excited about? I'm excited to see what Joe Brady and them are going to do with Shakir. Because Shakir doesn't have to play the slot. He can play outside. I'm really interested to see if they actually put him outside and let him do some things. I'm also excited about Joe Brady now running the offense without Sean McDermott in the house, with Carmichael now as OC scheming things up. Do we see Cook actually as in a Kamara style role where you actually throw him the ball?
Possible, because we did it year 1 or year 2 with him when he became 2024. He was used a lot out the backfield. We went away from it last year. I don't know why, but possible. It's very possible because he can fill that role. Yeah.
Yeah. Please hit that like button. That's the best way to support the channel. We always forget to tell people that. Marv was really good at Ohio State. I think he was really good his rookie year too. I think he had a down year too.
Yeah. Kind of like BTJ a little bit.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. Kirk would be too much money for being redundant.
No, I think he would be
a free agent.
Yeah. I don't think he would demand a lot, to be honest with you.
I do think his game is very similar to Shakir's game. So I don't know how much we want another guy like that. But
so right now, receiving room. Let's talk about it since we're on it. All right, we got Shakir in the building still. Let's talk about who's in the building. You got Shakir as of now. Palmer still here, right? We don't know yet, right? Keon, right? Who else is in the building?
Right now, Samuel.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel as of now. Yeah. Shavers is in the building. So there's 5. Am I missing anybody? I don't think so, right? I think that's it.
Because Gabe's a free agent. Cook's a free agent.
Right.
McCole Hardman's in the building too.
McCole Hardman, you're right. They gave him a future contract. Yep. Him and a receiver that we have. Virgil,
yeah, Gosnell. I think that was Gosnell or whatever his name is.
I don't remember.
And Virgil.
They
love that guy.
They love that guy. So question is, who do they get rid of, right? I think Curtis Samuel for sure goes, right? I'm pretty sure.
It's like $6 or $7 million bucks.
So there's a cut there. Shavers has to come back from injury, right? So we don't know his timetable.
He's gonna be out most of next year.
Correct. So let's take those 2 guys off kind of the roster rule there, or at least their role. So now we're down to what, 3? All right. So we have 2 to fill. What do they do with Palmer is the question. Is Palmer staying, or are they going to take the cap hit and just say fuck?
Palmer's gonna stay here.
I figured that too. Yeah.
I think Palmer's here. I think Shakir's here. The big question is, what do they do with Keon? Like, if you listen to him, they're gonna keep him. But
so what do you do if you add 2? We're talking about adding 2, right? Let's say hypothetically let's say we do that, let's say we trade for Harrison, we pick up, let's say Kirk or a receiver in the second round, like just hypothetically, just throwing something out. So what do you do now? Because now you got a lot of guys in the room, right?
Well, then now you have 5.
You'd ship off Coleman.
No, you can keep more than.
No,
5.
you got more than 5. You got more than 5 if you add 2. You got Shakir,
Coleman,
Palmer.
Yeah, those 3 plus 2. I mean, you're
Plus
probably
2,
not going
and
to
then
keep McCole Hardman. Probably say goodbye.
Not
to
going to keep Hardman.
But even if you picked
Shavers,
up those 2,
you're gonna have to keep on.
Well, Shavers gonna be on IR most
right?
of the year.
True. And you cut Palmer. Yeah, I guess you're right. You can. So you can technically keep
you can
Coleman.
grab 2
then.
or
You can
3.
keep Palmer.
You could grab 2 or 3 this offseason. Grab two.
You could
grab 2 veterans and a
rookie.
Rookie guy. You could.
You know why I was thinking about the IR on Shavers? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, where would Palmer fit in? I wonder where Palmer would be your 5, 4 or 5.
Well, depends on what Palmer you get.
I have no idea because I didn't see any Palmer. I didn't see the good Palmer, so I don't know what Palmer we get.
I'm an Ohio State guy. I watch all Harrison's game. He's the real deal. He's always clutch with the Buckeyes. He was just part of a QB mess at Arizona. He has talent. Yeah, I think he has the talent to be a number 1. I think his hands were a little shaky in year 2. Year 1 he did really good, but year 2 he dropped some big balls where you could see it bothered him that he was making the drops. I think the kid has all the talent in the world. Can he put it together? And I would love for Marvin Harrison. I don't think Marvin Harrison leaves Arizona. I don't. I think they're going to keep him. I think we're better off looking at the Brian Thomas Jr. as the one shot for a young possible superstar. Otherwise, we're looking at the Dobbs or the Kirks or those type, and then we have to draft. I just don't think I just don't think they're gonna trade for an AJ Brown. I just don't see it.
I don't either. I don't.
Come on, Tommy. 3 plus 2 is 5.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up, fool. Shut up, fool.
Oh my God.
Sorry, sneezing like crazy over here.
No, you're good. You're good. Allergic.
I'm allergic to Tommy.
Yeah.
If we trade for wide
sick.
receiver, I want an already proven. I don't want a guy we're just hoping. Okay, so you don't want a Brian Thomas Jr. or a Marvin Harrison Jr.
Trevor, yeah, I just want to.
I think I'd be okay with either one of those guys.
I would too, because I still think they haven't reached their ceiling. Their ceiling's high, especially for Marvin Harrison. BTJ, we'll see. I feel like, he seems like he doesn't want to get hit down the middle much. That's been his knock right now. Seems a little weary about catching balls in the middle of the field, but I think Marvin Harrison has real potential. But I get your point. But it wouldn't be like we're getting a guy. Let's say we do get Marvin Harrison, a guy that has been terrible, right, in Arizona.
Yeah.
He's only
Would
had
you
a couple
trade a 1 for him?
Boy,
if I could tell you can get Marvin Harrison Jr. for the
26, right? I would do it. I would do it. Because it's 26th pick. It's basically a second round. We're not that far from a second round. So I would
think if Marvin Harrison Jr. was in the draft this year, he would be wide receiver 1.
I'd give him a 1 and maybe something else because they might require something else, but maybe a 6th round or something.
1 in Keon?
Which we have even 1 in Keon, yeah. Which I would do as well. But I would try my best to jump back in the first round, though.
1 in Palmer?
Sure. Fuck, take Palmer, take Keon. I don't give a fuck. Take them both if you want. You know what I mean? Like, get them off our hands. The thing is with Keon, though, I still feel like there could be something there. I still am holding out for hope that there's something in Keon can be good. And Ocho Cinco,
maybe they run a
believes in
freaking
him.
Slant with him.
Yeah.
Maybe you run a slant with him. Put the guy
said,
in
get ready.
position to be successful. Stop asking him to run things that don't fit his game.
Correct.
Joe Brady talked about building an offense, and Leonard talked about building a defense around the player's strengths, not make the players fit around the scheme. That's the difference, I think, that we're looking at next year is we have coaches who say we're going to fit our game plans and our schemes around the player's strengths, not the other way around.
I hope that's accurate because he could have done that last year. And now
we
say
that.
Brady.
We say that, but we don't know if he could have done that.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah, we're absolutely going to find out.
You know, my thing is this. He came out and addressed the Keon situation. He's the one that wanted Keon. Okay. And if he's going to keep Keon, right? Meaning he tells Bean, I believe in this kid. I can make it work with this guy. I have something planned for this guy. I can scheme things up and it still fails. Then we're just going to have to realize that's a bad pick and move on, right? Cut him, trade him, whatever.
You know,
but I think we keep him just because Brady seems to be so for the pick and so like
he
Keon, it seems
also could have been saying that to bring his trade value back up. Everyone shit on him up to that point. Someone had to help bring that value back up.
Right. He could. That's a good point.
So
because I don't think he's fighting it. He may not fight it either if it's part of a trade package, right?
Right.
So.
True. Very, 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 very true.
Yeah.
All right. We got anything else for tonight? Because we caught up in the chat.
Yeah, I got a couple of this make or break. Let's see here. Okay. Let me pull this up real quick. So I saw some articles. We'll glide through them. So this one here on SI was Bills players entering make or break off season. All right, so make or break, and then you can agree or disagree on this one, Mikey. Terrell Bernard, is it a make or break season for Terrell?
It's absolutely make
Bernard.
Or break.
Okay, I'm with you.
Like I think he doesn't really fit what we're looking for here. Like he's not a big linebacker; he's more of a coverage linebacker. I don't know where he fits in this defense. It'll be weird to see what, it'll be interesting, I should say, to see what Leonard and crew decide to do with him, because he was more of a McDermott style linebacker, not an attacking style. But
maybe I'm wrong. Says right here, undersized linebacker was a liability in run support and really struggled across the board. What if they decide to make him a
blitzer? He was always a really good blitzer.
He did very good in college.
Maybe they make him an edge guy that they're looking for, that speed guy that can do things. Maybe they slide him out there and let him rush the passer.
Yeah. There is a chance this team's shift defensively may better suit his skill set. But based on the performance this past season, Bernard has a long way to go. If he is to remain team captain, forgot about that. He's team captain as well. And one of the organizations, found. I wonder what they do with the team captains this year too. If they remember, because they moved it just to 2, but prior to that it was like 4 or 5 or something like that.
Yeah, and then they had a leadership council and all that kind of
right. Stuff. All right, next one on the board, Mikey, is Ed
Hold
Oliver.
on, before you move on.
Yep.
Devin Lloyd. Oh, Devin Lloyd would be great. Chanel would be really good. Like, there's a few guys that linebacker wise, I think we talked a few weeks back. I think I misspoke when I said I wasn't overly fond of the linebacker class. After we got Jim Leonard and knowing what kind of style he wants to play, I love this linebacker free agent class. Like,
there's some good ones.
There's some good ones out there. It's a good class.
Absolutely.
Of free agents that we could go out and fit the scheme that we're trying to run. Like, I don't think there was a bunch of great fits for McDermott style, but holy crap, this new style, like there's some real good fits.
March 11th, folks, is when the free agency begins. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait. All right, Ed Oliver, what do you think?
Yeah, and I'll be interested. I think Ed Oliver is going to play that right DN type of spot. I think it's they call it the 4-eye spot that trying to think of his name with the Rams. You've always played. It's the greatest defensive lineman. Some people say he's the greatest defense ever. Why can't I think of his name? Aaron Donald.
Oh God.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, Aaron Donald. That he was compared to him early on.
Yeah, he was compared. Though. I think he's going to play that role, and it's just going to be an attacking style setup. And if we go out and get a big freaking nose guard,
right?
You know what I mean?
Which they should.
A run stuffing nose guard. Like, there's a chance that you know, he's gonna actually have one-on-one opportunities, and
which is
Yeah.
what he does well, which
You
is
know?
what he does best, actually.
I'm excited.
Is there
about-
any way he gets traded? It says here.
I don't
mean,
think
there's
so.
a chance he could be traded over the next weeks and months.
I just
What do you
don't. I
think?
don't see it. I think
don't
they're
see
gonna
it either.
restructure him and bring him
Okay.
back.
All right.
I do. Like
Next one.
Jim Leonard doesn't like to get rid of good football players, and he's a good football player.
Tehran.
I think he's on the cut list. I really do. I have a hard time believing they're gonna have us for as much money as he's gonna make. I have a hard time believing that he's gonna have enough playing time to offset in this new defense that he's worth that money.
I'm with you. Dion.
I don't think it's a make or break. I think Dion's here. He's a lifer. I do. I don't think Bean's looking, especially with knowing that our center and left guard are probably gone. I don't think he's trying to 2/5 of the offensive line is gonna be hard enough. I don't think he's trying to get rid of 3/5 of our offensive line and our anchor at left tackle. I just don't see. I think he wants him to come back in better shape.
Okay.
Before you move
yep,
on,
go ahead.
let's hit
Yep.
some. Hit
Yep,
some.
go ahead.
What player on defense do you see shining the most under Leonard? That's a question. That's a good question. It's hard to know.
You see shining the most under line.
Honestly, Bishop. I think they're going to move Bishop around and use his skill set. I could see that. I don't think the guy who's going to shine the most is even on this team yet. Though.
Yeah, that's a damn good question. I'm with Mikey though. For now, I would say Cole Bishop, who probably, I'll be honest with you guys, I think arguably you could say he was probably our best defensive player last year or this past season. I mean, reliable,
He was so good. He was so good.
Healthy for the most part all season, on point, tracking the ball, hitting people, you know, in the right place, the right time, only getting better. He still hasn't reached the ceiling. So in this system, yeah, man, I think sky's the limit for him. And Mikey's right. We don't know yet with the additions. There could be another superstar in the making through the draft as well. So, or a guy they bring in, a trade perhaps. So, but right now I'm with Mikey. Cole Bishop would be my answer.
I would say
for
Cole
that.
Bishop. If I'm going to look at somebody else, I'm going to look
Groot's
at,
interesting. I would say Groot's interesting to see where they put him on the line.
I was going to say either Oliver in that 4-eye as No Bones
I like that
out
too.
of here, or even our big fella. God damn, why am I doing so bad with names tonight? Our rookie. No, our rookie.
Oh, rookie.
Big rookie.
Walker. Dion Walker.
Walker. Yeah, Dion Walker. I'm just doing horrible with names tonight. Yeah, like what he can do. He could be Calais Campbell in the 3-4. Put him at a 4-eye on the other side and let the guy go and create havoc on the outside while you have a big nose stuffer. And then if you get into third and fourth and long, then you put him over the middle and let him tack. And then you bring in Hoyt,
dude,
you know, and we don't know what
Hoyt's
Solomon's going to be in a 3-4.
Yeah.
You know,
but I think we've seen Hoyt very limited, very brief, and he was a star for that game and a half. Like that dude was explosive. He was everything we wanted that defensive line at that time to be, like aggressive and just he was a Taz, right? Tasmanian Devil. Like I feel like in this system, that guy will thrive because you could put him anywhere on that line and he'll be effective, right? He's that type of player. So that guy, when he returns, I think that guy could also make some noise for this defense.
If he comes back, it'll be interesting to see what he comes back like.
When he comes back, yeah. But he's still kind of young relatively. He's not super old or anything like that. He can recover from that. That's his first major injury. I'm not super concerned.
Spen says Bishop. He agreed with us. Randy comes in and says it's possible we get Marvin Harrison. People won't take Palmer unless we eat the money. Another poor free agent deal by Bean. Keon just lacks really good hands. He's not good at fighting for the ball, and that could be immaturity. The lack of fighting for the ball. If he goes and actually works out with Ocho and all the guys who said they're going to work out with him and teach him and puts the work in, he has talent.
He does.
But I don't know if you watched Stevie Johnson break his practice film down. we didn't use him how we used him in practice when he was, on the slants and the stops and the outs and a lot of those. Like, we didn't run any of those in the game that he was actually really good at. So I'll be interested to see if they actually tailor something to make this guy, good. And look at Marquise Colston. Colston wasn't the greatest athlete. He was big, and Carmichael schemed up a good scheme to get him open and figure stuff out. That's what I'm excited about Carmichael. Where I think Joe Brady lacks in scheming guys, I think that's where Carmichael
he'll make up
is the
for
best at.
Yeah, he'll make up for that for that error or whatever.
Yeah,
Brady.
I do.
Yeah,
I think
Randy,
that's a good match.
I'm with you, Randy, on Bean too, and I think that's something that he probably looks in the mirror and understands that he's also has some blame in what's happened over the last whatever time. He has to do better in free agency. There's I can't defend that. Like, he has to do better. You gotta, what you were doing years prior, you can't continue on with these 1-year contracts, 2-year contracts. You got to make these free agents count, right? Now look, we're going to still have to get some guys on 1-year deals. That's just the nature of the beast. Every team does it. But I want some needle movers. You don't need a whole bunch. You need a few that can really move the needle, and then you add a couple 1-year guys, to fill it out. But I feel like I'm hoping he lived and learned from those errors in judgment over the Curtis Samuel and Palmer signing.
I also do believe that we're going to have a different style of offense with the different coaches in, and Bean's going to go out and get the type of players that these guys want versus what McDermott wanted. So
correct.
It'll be interesting. Renaissance Man comes in and says Leonard has a chance to be the MVP of the offseason. The last 3 playoff losses have been by 3 points. They're right there. Offense has shown up in the playoffs. Defense hasn't. Can't wait.
Great point. Hey, Renaissance. Great point. And I think that's what me and my, it's crazy. Like, all the talk about
Max,
the offense this past year about, and why was it? Why did we talk about something? Why were we disappointed? Because we knew we couldn't count on the defense, right? And we were so disappointed because we knew the offense had to play perfect football to make up for the shitty defense.
Boy, did they not in Denver.
right. So ultimately, because our defense couldn't hold them under 30 points, right? We lost the game 33-30, right? So I'm excited because of the defense. Finally, I can get back on board with the defense because I jumped off that train. I was done with the defense.
I'll be honest.
This is exciting.
If we give up 30 points in an attacking style defense, I'll live to be like, okay. I couldn't stand watching year 10 of the same bend but don't break defense that just we knew was going to get carved up.
Right. Cushion ass defense.
Could not listen. If we get beat attacking and they beat us, okay.
I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's figure it out and keep moving on. But holy crap.
Right.
Randy says Agent 47 will shine the most at corner. He's I'm excited for what it's going to look like with him and Harrison, because they're going to play a lot of man going into next year. Because if you go back and look, you see a lot of man coverage in those attacking style defenses. I'm excited for what those guys are going to look like next year.
Definitely. Only thing I'll say about Harrison is not a red flag. Just partial. I guess I'm starting to put the red flag a little bit on him is the injuries. I really hope he's not one of those players that just
gets hurt.
He just can't. Yeah, he just can't escape the injuries, right? Guys, there's been
the
players
second
like
one
that.
Wasn't his fault. He got.
No, I know, but
fire.
I'm just saying, it don't matter. And
friendly
fire or just bad luck. Some players has come in the league and they just Sammy Watkins, right? He was fine in college, came here and he's fucking hurt right away.
Messed up his foot and
he just.
Never could get right in
ribs,
Buffalo.
Remember this hand, arm.
You know what we haven't talked about yet that I'm excited about? The new stadium opening and it's grass. Some of these injuries going on to grass will change a lot of shit.
Absolutely, dude. I'm excited. Dude, that stadium is almost built. A lot of people making fun of it, saying it's a toilet bowl. It looks like a toilet bowl.
Dude, I think I like the way it looks.
I do, but it does look a little I'm not gonna lie about the toilet bowl thing. It's kind of funny, but I don't care about so much about the outside. I care about what's inside, right? Grass, heated grass. Matter of fact, the people that are going to the games are going to be able to see the game much better, no matter where you're sitting. The sound is going to be unbelievable. They said the best sound. It's going to be the best sound system.
Not only that, but
football.
They designed it to where the weather, like the wind
won't affect. Yeah,
it hits
dude.
the sideline, like the visitor sideline. Like they took what happened in Miami and tried to design it in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I'm excited.
Dude, I can't wait.
I'm excited.
I wish we still had the old. I wish they bring back the new era, new era stadium. Like that would be so fitting for all this.
Yeah, except
but it's time, Mark.
New era one.
Yeah.
Jacob Rodriguez, man, I would love Jacob Rodriguez. I am a huge fan of that guy. Man, if we could find a way to get him in the draft, talk about a guy who fits right in the middle. He can run stuff. He can play the pass. Like he's an all around linebacker. I think by the time it's all said and done, he probably falls late 1, early 2. After everything, like right now, he's looking late 2, early 3 is where he's designed. But I think when it's all said and done, I think he ends up late 1, early 2. Remember who else did that? Jack Campbell. Remember everyone thought late 1, early 2 for Jack Campbell. He went like at 16 or something like that. You know, I think Rodriguez is going to do the same thing. I think he's going to shoot up the draft boards once combine season hits. Coleman ran a lot of outs in the Ravens game. Yeah, and he actually played well against the Ravens. And we ran some slants with him. Like, imagine that. We put him in position to succeed. McDermott waited out defense. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Like I just
pretty much.
I mean, he would attack, and then all of a sudden go soft. The second we got the lead, he'd go soft.
Yeah, second we got the lead, or when things got tight. Yeah. Things got tight. He got tight, right? And he started playing everything very safe, and that includes the offense as well. Like if you watch, like I said, go back to that Denver game, right? We had the ball in overtime. And what do? We run the ball first down every single goddamn play. Like he wanted things to go the same way he's been doing. Slow, methodical. Come on, man. Let's mix things up. They know we're running. Throw a play action. Let's do something different. But he wanted to play it safe. He didn't want to take shots down, right? And then we kind of had to. Right? Then we had to. I don't know, man. I'm excited for the change.
They're off the Indian burial ground site now. So maybe the curse will be lifted.
I heard though that they're still it's all over. So I don't know about that, but hopefully whenever they dug up and it's gone. I don't know.
I'm not going year 1, but I am going to go to year 2.
Yeah, I'll go year 2 because year 1's going to be. I think it's going to be crazy pricing. And if anyone's selling tickets, they're going to definitely be wanting pretty good change for him. So I can't afford that.
Yeah. Well, when we go, Tommy, we're gonna go together. I'll get us an Airbnb to crash at, and we'll go. We'll do some while we're out there.
Definitely have to. Yeah,
year 2. The plan was always year 2 for me to go out there and catch a game. At the new stadium. That's the plan. I'm not sure he sucks as an owner, but okay.
I don't know him that well, and I'm not, I think a lot of people judge him off the Sabres team too, and I don't watch hockey, so I'm not going to really weigh in on what he's done with the hockey team, but I feel like he's just like the majority of the owners in every sport. They're in it for the money for the most part. I mean, a lot of these guys are hands off. You know what I mean? I think Terry Bagula, to be honest with you, I don't think he wanted to be hands on when he did the firing.
No,
that was the last thing he wanted to do. Right?
Kim was supposed to be the hands-on one. It wasn't ever going to be Terry. Terry's the business guy.
No, that's what I'm saying. So like that whole him coming out to the press con, he don't want to do that. Like he just wants to cut. Everybody, he had to though because it was his decision.
I
you know what I mean?
Man, he should have walked up, read a prepared statement, and left. Brandon. And let Brandon answer the questions is what he should have done.
He should have just said, here's why, a reason why, made it nice. Yeah, make it nice and clear and give him his dues. And then say, That's all I have for you guys. I
I'll
appreciate
turn this
you
over to
and
Brandon.
exactly, yeah. But it is what it is. If you want, it's his right. It's his team. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I don't
No
know what kind of
bones.
owner
They
it
paid
is.
for half of it. Pagula paid for the other half.
Taxpayers pay majority.
They paid for half of it. No, they paid for half of it. It ran over. It was supposed to be.
It did run over. You're right. It did run over.
1.7, and the taxpayer paid like 900 and something, and it ended up being like 2.5, 2.4, 2.3, something like that. And Pagula had to pay the overage.
I know he paid overage. Yeah.
And it was supposed to be like 1.7. I think they gave about $1 billion, I want to say, of it.
Okay, so Terry Pagula and Buffalo Bills are contributing over $690 million towards the construction of the $1.54 billion.
That was the original, the 1.5.
Yeah, alongside $850 million in public funding.
Okay. So it was over a $2 billion one. They got 850 of the public. The rest of it now became
so right
Terry's
here.
dime.
So this is what he paid. He paid $690 million.
To start. And it ended up over 2 billion. The same's gonna be over 2 billion after the overrun. That was the initial.
Oh, you're right, because 1.54. You're right, because it did go up.
That was the initial. Now it's over. Now it's like 1 or 2.3 or something like that.
For some reason, it's not giving me, but I know it went over to 2.1, but it's not saying that on Google. But I believe you because I do recall it being over.
He put in over $1 billion on it himself.
Right.
Badass. I had 4 tickets this year, $900 each, and 200 parking pass. I won them. No way an average fan can afford that. No, but that's how it is across the league. Like, I live in California. My brother had season tickets at the old stadium, the old Candlestick Stadium, and he, it was something around that. He had 2 tickets. He had to give them up when they went to the new Levi Stadium because you just couldn't afford it.
So you're right. You're right. They went $560 million in construction overruns.
Yeah. So he went over $1 billion.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, he put his money.
I mean, at the end of the day, he sold 10% so he could cover it. So he didn't really have to cut. He only had to cover the first part.
Pretty smart there by Terry Pagula. Thank you, Tracy McGrady.
And Vince and all the other guys.
Yeah, Vince Carter. Thank you.
Yeah. What game looks the hardest next year? Do you have the
some
schedule?
tough ones? I'll pull.
Do you have the schedule?
Yeah. Let me pull it up. I'll pull it up.
He paid like 1.7. Taxes paid 850. There you go. Thank you, Spin. I knew it was something like that. It was crazy. The amount of money that stadium ended up costing is wild.
All right, here we go. Here's a schedule for next season. So
let's take a look.
Yeah. So there's the home.
Who's the hardest at home?
Lions. You know what? It depends on the Chiefs game. If Mahomes is back in time, I don't know where.
They're going to put that at the end of the year so they can get the Allen Mahomes. They're not going to do it early.
So honestly,
that.
I might say that game just because if we're, you're right, Mikey. They're not going to put it early where we face their backup. So I'm leaning maybe towards that, but I'm going to tell you the Lions are tough. The Ravens always give us fits. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears are not going to be easy, though. I think we can.
Chargers
beat the Bears.
not going to be easy.
Yeah, Chargers, but depending on what Chargers team you get to. But I would say the weakest out of this would obviously be the Dolphins
or Jets.
Or the Jets. I'm sorry, I don't know why the Jets aren't. Right here, duh. So the Dolphins, the Jets.
Today,
are the
I
two
would say the Lions
on the bottom.
Today, I'd say the Lions.
Lions right now.
Yeah,
I would say today the Chiefs. Still
today, there's no Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, today. Okay, so you're right. You're right. Today, as we sit today. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say then. God, the Lions are rough. They're a tough team.
They just get. I mean, they are super talented, and they just redid their coaching staff.
Yeah. Baltimore gives us fits, and Chicago's really good too, man. But you're right. I think the Lions. They just got so much talent, bro. I'm with you. I'll go. as we said, but we're gonna re-talk about this when the schedule comes out, the actual schedule, because I would say the Chiefs. All right, so away. Here's the away. What about the away?
Woo! Richie comes in and says, after looking at the schedule, the Bills are going 13-4. Away, the toughest one. The
These
Texans.
are all
we
tough.
never play well in Houston.
You're
never
right.
play well.
The Rams are tough too. We beaten the Rams, but
yeah, in LA, we never play well in Houston ever.
Yeah, but man, LA's tough too, man. Green Bay's none of these games are pushovers really, except for the Raiders and the Dolphins and the Jets.
And maybe Minnesota, depends on who the quarterback is.
Oh, you're right, Minnesota. JJ McCarthy, what a terrible decision that was.
Like our away schedule is rough. You know,
that's brutal.
Green Bay, Denver, LA, and Houston.
Patriots. And the Patriots too, you know, on the road. God, this is not an easy schedule. It's not an easy schedule. Like, okay, if we were way too early predictions, Mikey, if we were to go down the line right here, this is just hypothetically the home games.
Okay.
Are we beating the Dolphins at home?
When?
Are we beating the Patriots at home? We beating the Jets at home? So you're 3-0 right there. I'm just going by that. Are we beating the Chiefs at home?
Depends on 50-50. We always beat them in the regular season. We always beat them in the regular season. So yes.
Well, we're playing as we sit today. That's what you said. Yes. As we sit today.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we're 4-0. Chargers at home.
Is it as they sit today? So the no tackles? If it's no tackles, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Bears.
Yes.
Lions. This is a super way too early prediction.
I have a sweep and a home.
Sweeping? Okay, so
as we sit today.
8-0 as we sit today. Okay, on the road, Dolphins.
Yes.
Patriots.
I think we're going to split with them next year, so I'm going to say.
Okay, so there's a loss. So we are now 9-1. The Jets.
Yes.
10-1. Broncos.
No, I think we lose.
Ooh, 10-2. Packers.
I think we win.
11-2. Raiders.
We win.
Vikings.
We win.
Texans.
We lose.
Rams, we lose.
I think we go 13-4.
13-4, yeah. So 1, 2, and then you had us one
at
loss
any
here,
point
of
3, time, we could very much. Yeah, so I had
all
lose.
All the losses are on the road, huh? Yeah. You had us losing to Green Bay, LA, Texans, and who? Oh, and the Patriots.
And Patriots.
1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, 13-4. So all of our losses on the road.
And I didn't have us losing to Green Bay. I was beating Green Bay. I was losing to.
That's what I mean. Patriots,
Denver,
Texans, LA, and
Denver.
Who? Oh, and Denver. I'm sorry. Okay, so not Green Bay. See, I would. Boy, that's tough because I think we could beat.
When
Green
do we
Bay,
get
bro.
Denver? Do we get him with or without Micah?
You're right. Fuck, I forgot about Parsons. Fuck. Bro, that's a brutal schedule, bro. I don't know about 13-4. I gotta be honest with you.
It's the house of horrors. It's so bad there. I just don't get it.
I think honestly, like in a realistic, Mikey, I would put us at 12 wins. Like just to play it safe.
I can see us losing. I can see us,
first time head coach
wins,
and
11 or 12 wins, and us losing 1 or 2 at home.
Yeah, and you know
what's
fucked up?
Very easy lose to one of those guys.
You know what's fucked up? We don't even know yet if one of these home games are going to be in fucking Europe or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could take one of those away. You know that. So
he just picked 6. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Have the Chiefs win. Flying from Hawaii to Buffalo right now will be 13-4.
I hope so. Hey, I'll take 12-13. Uh-oh. Everything go?
Someone's out front. I can hear him.
Oh shit. We got a live breaking at Mikey's house. Mikey, get your weapon. What are you doing? Oh man, I wish I had do I have it? Oh damn, I don't. I used to have a
That's my daughter and her boyfriend. Got it.
Oh.
I text wife. I text my wife. I'm like, all right, who the hell's out front? Because I can hear them in my office. Because I turned my garage into a room. That became my office.
All right. This would have been some really good live coverage of something. Not that I want anything bad.
6, 6, and 5. He says we're going 6, 6, and 5.
Oh, jeez. No.
Good God. You're firing McDaniels, or you're firing Brady, you're firing Bean, you're firing everybody if they come out and go 6, 6, and 5. Everyone's getting canned.
If we start off, like, you know, I'm gonna tell you right
McDermott
now.
out front.
If we, it's McDermott. Hey, you talking shit about me? You saying I can't coach? I'm not a good defensive coordinator? Mikey, I'll tell you this. If the Bills start off bad, start the season, meaning stacking L's, Bills Mafia's going to lose their shit. They're going to lose their mind.
Oh, God.
So,
we fire everybody. We fire everybody. We come out and we lose week 1. It's fire the fucking crew.
Bro, and like I'll still somewhat be patient, but I'm gonna tell you right now, pre-warning you, if we lose 2 in a row or something like that to start the season 0-2, dude, I might lose my mind on here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I might go crazy, bro. So we better not.
It'd take you 13 seconds to catch him. McDermott. First home game at the new stadium is Pats. Book it. Oh, I'd love to have the Pats in for the first game.
Damn, that is interesting. What would they?
Go back to the home games. Go back to the home game. Let's see who the first game is. There's so many that could be good. It could be the Pats.
I wonder if they give us our first game though at home.
It could be Baltimore.
Well, you said they won't give us the Chiefs more than likely because they want a better matchup, which would make sense.
If Mahomes is back for week 1, I can see us playing the Chiefs.
You know what I could see?
I think we're going to be on the road week 1.
Either way, our first home game. I don't think so. I think our first home game will be at home. Our first game of the season will be at home.
It's going to be Baltimore.
New stadium, I think they'll want to open that with a bang. You know who Baltimore I could see us playing? Baltimore.
They love giving us Baltimore.
Yep. Like, they're not going to give us the Jets. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that
or
happen.
The Dolphins.
Right. They're going to give us here we go, new stadium, get ready, fireworks. You know what I mean? Bills, Ravens. They could give us the Bears or Lions.
The Lions. Yeah, Lions or Bears.
But I think they would want it to be they don't want us to get, like you said, like the Jets where we just beat them down at home.
10 straight wins and lose week 11. Fire Brady.
Right. I can see that.
We open up 10-0. We lose week 11. Everyone's like, can that guy? He sucks.
Right. One loss. I can't believe it.
I do believe the Bills are going to
I do too. Yeah,
I do too. But though they will lose their mind if we start out rough.
Oh, dude. Absolutely.
Week 1 against the Jets would be ideal.
But I want to point this out. We have lost week 1 games with McDermott, by the way. So, just throwing that out there. Pittsburgh, the Jets. Right.
Snoopy. It is a rebuild, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah. They got a lot of work to do. They got
offense, we're not really rebuilding. We're retooling the offense, but we are rebuilding our defense.
Yeah.
Completely different scheme, new coaches, like everything about it. Yeah, having Joe Brady in place tells me the offense is going to be, fine. We're not going to rebuild it. You got basically a new defensive coaching staff. Like, I think it's a total, for the most part, rehaul. Like they are going to move around a lot of pieces, man. I mean, I guess there is the possibility the stadium isn't ready, but I think it's gonna be.
No, they said it'll be ready.
Might start the first 3 games on the road.
That would be unbelievable. Right? Sorry, guys.
I mean, there is an extra road game this year. We can start the first 2 on the road.
We could. I mean, it's possible. I feel like if the stadium's ready, they would want that game to be opening game. And I could see it even being, because weren't we on Sunday night against the Ravens to start the season last year? right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we thought
We
thought it was gonna be the Chiefs. Remember, they talked about it.
That's
And,
right.
And then we thought, okay, they're gonna give us the Patriots, and then it ended up being,
Yeah.
you know,
So
then we thought it was gonna be the
they could do
Bengals.
it.
Remember, they talked about the Bengals because they knew Joe Burrow would be there week
Mm.
one, so we thought it was gonna be the Bengals. Remember, and then they ended up giving us the Ravens.
But they had a good story to it. You know, last game. You know, the Baltimore wants their revenge.
So I could see us opening week one against. I could see the Pats playing the Broncos week one because the Pats put out the Broncos. You know, I could see us going to the Broncos week one. We put them out, or they put us out. Us going to.
So if revenge. It is, yeah, you're right. If it's an away game to start, maybe
I could see us going to
the Broncos would be an interesting one to start the season if they're going to do us on the road. You're right.
They follow the same way they did last year with the Ravens and Bills. Us going to the Broncos.
You're right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm with you.
Last game against the Jets, normally first game against the Jets the following year. I mean, I'd be okay with the Jets week one. Going on.
Whatever.
You know.
What up?
It is
we'll
dumb
see.
that they always give us the Chiefs mid-year. You know.
Always.
I think he was perfect after the buys. All he had to do was make it to the Super Bowl, and it's a buy. You're not wrong. We never lost a buy during his tenure.
Yeah, that's true.
Defense was the problem. Anyways, should have been done. No, I'm with you on that. Like, it had to be done. At the end of the day, it had to be done.
Long overdue. Long overdue.
I want to get all the travel games out of the way early. Yeah, you know, send us to LA week one. Bills Rams week one would be fantastic.
Hey,
be
get
good
it on.
Game.
I'll tell you what. That would we would know what our defense is about right away. You stack up against the Rams.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you can hold the Rams, you know, if you can beat the Rams and hold them to a certain amount of points, we might have something brewing here, right? But if you get cakewalked, right, then we may have some more time we need for that defense to get right. So we'll see.
Man, I love Richie's confidence. You know, not a worry in the world over here. In my humble opinion, pending a big splash wide receiver free agent, our D will play with their hair on fire and our offense will be cooking. Honestly, I think McD held us back the past 2 years. I think I'm most excited about seeing what this defense looks like because I do think they're going to come out hair on fire. Like, they may not be those all-world beaters, us, you know, elite defense, but I have a feeling they're going to attack and we're going to see more sacks. We're going to see us give up big plays. We're going to see us create big plays. It's not going to be a safe defense at all.
Yeah. I think the players are going to get behind it too, man.
Mm-hmm. Especially the defensive guys.
Yeah.
You know, we see our offense cooking our defense in spring training or in training camp every year, and we hear about how great these guys are. Maybe this year we hear about our defense kicking the shit out of our offense because it's actually attacking them.
Right.
You know, because didn't we hear all last training camp at how great our receivers looked and they're cooking, and then we get in the regular season and they look like dog shit.
Cooking against our shitty defense.
Yeah.
You know, no, everyone fails to remember, like, our defense always gives up chunk yards. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then I'm never coaches. We'll see. Vrabel 2 times, Campbell, Reed, Harbaugh, Ryan, LaFleur, Peyton, O'Connell, Ben Jones. Yeah, he's gonna face, you know, and he's gonna be tested. We're gonna know year one if he's got the chops to be a head guy or not. Usually, you can tell if the guy has the chops to be a head coach or not in year one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and when everyone saw Mike McDaniel in year one, did everyone say, "Oh, that guy's a superstar"?
No.
He did really good year 2.
Yeah,
and then he kind of fell off. But you know, you see Matt Patricia year 1, you knew he wasn't going to do it. Joe Judge year 1, you knew he wasn't going to do it. Like, a lot of these guys get canned after the year 1 when it just doesn't look like they're going to do it.
But I feel like as a head coach, though, like the number one flaw in a lot of these guys, Mikey, is they don't know how to adjust when things aren't going right. Meaning, like, so you talk about Mike McDaniel year two. It was successful. He had that offense was crazy good, right? They scored 70 on, who was it, Denver, I think it was, right? Like something crazy like that. But when defenses caught on to him and figured out the scheme, he wasn't willing to change. So like year 3 of him, that's when he started to have this decline, right? And then then players started to walk over him, be late to, you know what I mean? And then all the other stuff. So when you're winning, everything's great. You can let players walk. All that shit you can push to the side. Nobody cares about. But once you start losing games, Mikey, then all that shit starts to become, right? Noticed, right? These guys showing up late. This guy's having problems. This off-field issue. So, of course, all that stuff started to come out. And same with McDermott. You remember when McDermott started, we had that little rough stretch. That report came out, right? That report was never going to come out if we were winning, doing great at that time. So, McDermott, for me, fell on that line. He didn't really adjust his coaching. He was kind of just stubborn in his ways, and he was unwilling to change, right? On how the league changed, right? The offense changed, right? The defense changed. Like, he was just unwilling to change his ways.
That's why I'm excited for the young guys being in there, because they will change with ways.
And they got going. Right, and you still got some old heads that go, but we still need to do this way. We still have to do the fundamentals, guys. Like, I get you want to do all the new age shit, but we still have to. Now, hold on, John Fox
and Pete Carmichael and Rob Boris and all the old guys that they have, the veterans, are still there. Correct. So, I'm real excited about it. Kevin says, "Do you guys see us getting the Cowboys kicker Aubrey if they franchise Pickens? Is he a free agent? I would absolutely pay Aubrey. If we had a chance to get Aubrey, I would take him right now." But Bean came out and said that Bass is probably our kicker.
Ugh. He did say that, right? I think he brought that up.
Yeah.
Ugh. Maybe he just doesn't feel like going out and
if Aubrey's out there,
I'm not.
He's a free agent. They should go get him and cut Bass.
They should. That would be the responsible thing to do. But once again, I don't know if they just still feel like Bass is young. He's still, before he got hurt, that last part of the season, he was reliable in that second half of the season that he kicked for us. So I'll give him credit, but maybe they still feel like there's something there, Mikey. To me, I'd move on. I would too.
And I would go get an Aubrey. Like, I thought Prater was fantastic this year.
Yeah,
I felt so much more comfortable with Prater as our kicker than I ever did with Bass as our kicker.
Yeah, and kickoffs were perfect. Like, he didn't have any out of bound kicks.
Well, not even
Bass
that, but
so many.
Our punter was kicking off fantastic.
That's what I mean. Like, they both did fine with that. Like, Bass, dude, he had problems, man. Prater, for the most part, like Mikey said, was very reliable. He missed some kicks, but outside of that,
he didn't miss any big ones.
Didn't miss any big ones. No. So
all the clutch ones he
made a 50-yard in Denver. Right.
When we needed
down
it.
The middle. Right when we needed it.
We watched Bass go wide right in that same situation.
Environment. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. So
Randy, I love this. He says so many questions on the defense and the wide receiver room, all new coaches playing very tough schedule. I think it's a big lift for next year, which it is, but you still have Josh Allen. When you have 17, you always have a chance. Won't know the direction until the offseason's done, depending on Bean. I agree. I think this is Bean's most important season. What this tells me right now, this offseason will be: does Bean continue running the draft rooms, or does he give up control to an actual GM?
Which is possible
because he's the president of football ops. Like, he may say, "Okay, it didn't work out for me. I'm gonna hire me a GM and give him the reign and just be the president."
I don't think he does it this season.
No, neither do I.
I think this season is almost like he wants to prove he can get it right. You know what I mean?
He can pick his guys.
Exactly. And then after that, what he could do is put Gray or the other guy, I forget the other guy's name, in charge, and then kind of just go, "Hey, you see, I did my thing. You can't say shit. Now I'm president, and I'm gonna let these guys continue on, and I'll be here to get him in, because the thing is with him, he has relationships with other GMs with trades and all that. So he's going to tell Gray or the other guy, "Hey, you know what I mean? This is who you talk to. This is the guy you want to see. So he has
Dean
a relationship.
Will always have final decision, but
I know.
Gray
But
and
I'm
them
saying,
will
like,
be running
relationship. Like, at least to chime in and say, "Hey, this is who you need to talk to, who you need to see." But I think that's what happens ultimately,
Brian
and
Dane
I think I'm fine with that. Brian, yeah, Gaines.
Brian Gaines. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's how it should go. And it probably will go.
Can we stay healthy is the real question, right?
Jesus.
One of the reports that came out after was McDermott didn't give the guys the time off that
Correct.
The sports science people were suggesting.
Yeah,
I don't know how much I believe it, but
running practice
that
a little bit
came
hard.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, which doesn't really surprise me because we'd had a lot of injuries in practice, which me and Mikey talked about this past season, was like odd. Like guys were pulling up on the injury report that were hurt that got another injury during the week. How does that happen? And I think, like, honestly, I think McDermott was just pushing the guys a little bit too much this year in practice. Guys that probably shouldn't have been pushed, or rolling guys out on game day that probably shouldn't have been rolled out on game day. Like Bernard's a perfect example. That guy you should have put that guy on pup or something.
Like the last couple years, like he did with Samuel, he's done it. Like let's just take Palmer. Why didn't we shut him down for 4 to 6 weeks when he first got hurt? Let him heal up and then bring him back. They kept trying to play him through the injury. It's just like
correct. You can't do that. You simply can't.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sucks. Now, if it's playoffs, I get it. Hey, you know what? This is what we got. We need you. Totally different. But you're week 3 and week 2. Like what? Even whatever. Even mid season, right, dude? Don't risk it. That's what he did.
I think Walker would have obliterated the Bills' run defense. I think the Bills would have scored more, but so would Seattle. Probably been 40-27. Okay.
I think Seattle still beats.
I think it would have been a better game.
But I think we would have made it. Yeah, absolutely. There's no way.
I don't know if we beat Seattle. Seattle was so good this year.
I don't think so either. I think Josh would have been under just as much pressure. I think he would have gotten away though more than May because that's what he does. But our
run game was better too.
Our run game was, but I don't think we had enough weapons to beat that kind of team offensively. So we would have.
Our offensive line was better as well than what.
Correct. What it was, you're right.
The Patriots rolled out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we would have put more points up, to be honest with you, but I think we might have gave up some points.
Oh, absolutely. Our defense was not nearly as good as the Patriots defense. That's for damn sure.
It might have been a little more exciting, but
it would have been a more exciting game. Can you imagine Sam Darnold versus Josh Allen in that game? Like that would have been a way more exciting football game. I don't know if the Bills had the roster to pull that one out though.
No, because they were still getting after Darnold.
Josh would have had
we win it
on nuclear to win that.
Right,
game.
And we would have gamed Darnold all the time in the world to throw. Right, you know what I mean? All of the cushion for these receivers, like just totally. Our defense is just totally different than New England, and they would have put points on us, no doubt about it.
Aubrey in our new stadium would be a weapon. Yeah, he would. I'd love to have Aubrey. We saved $2.5 million by cutting Bass. Yep, and go ahead and stack $2.5 million more and give it to Aubrey.
Yeah.
Yes, he will. Gaines and Gray was retained for this reason. Yeah, I think he's gonna get. I don't think it's gonna be this year. It might be after the draft that he gives up the GM job and just becomes the president of football ops, and he
concentrates more on that
and makes one of them the GM, the other one the assistant GM.
Yeah. I mean, they've been there a while. They're still. They've been there a long time, man.
They're co-assistant GMs right now. Yeah. So one of them's going to get the GM job. The other one's going to be the assistant GM.
Right. Yep.
Per McDermott's contract, he had control of the 53, all trades per. Yeah. I've been saying that forever. McDermott had control of the 53.
We tried telling you guys that for years. Right? And
everyone was killing Bean, and I'm like, it's not Bean, man. McDermott has final say of the 53.
We went over this, and we're not saying Bean didn't play some of a part, but at the end of the day, McDermott had control of the 53. These are the players that he wanted here. These are the players that he wanted to stay. Players that wanted to be he want gone or cut. He made Bean do it. Like, that's it.
I can't get the next one to pop up. See if you can get the next one to pop up. My computer is being weird.
This one? If McDermott choked in the divisional and the AFC Championship, just picture what dumb things he would have done in the Super Bowl. Oh, my God. Yeah. Bro, you would have shit the bed. We do got a super chat. Let's go ahead and hit that.
Thank you very much.
I can't wait to hear that again. Dude. Hey, how loud is that going to be in the new stadium with the new surround sound they got there with the audio they got there?
That's going to be awesome.
That thing's going to be rocking. Right,
Richie comes in and says lots of
go ahead,
models shown, 60 million cap space plus the increase of 25, but the dream 25 dream but real is Jefferson 35 AV, Crosby 35 AV with room left. Tell me that doesn't immediately put us in Super Bowl 61 and get it done. Here's the problem. The 25 million increase is included in that 60 million.
Correct.
So the 60 million is there. So what you can do is you could trade for a Crosby or a Jefferson, right? Problem is we don't have enough picks or anything to make this work to get those guys, but you could trade for him, bring him in, and redo his deal, redo their cap, and then go get the other guy. So there is ways to do it if you have the assets to get it done.
Correct. And I'll say this though, that's Bean's specialty. He knows how to work the cap. He knows the numbers. So he could make it work. And Mikey's right. So what would happen? They bring in a guy in and they just rework the deal, rework the contract, and push the money down the line. Basically, is how they would do it. But it's possible. The thing is with Jefferson, Crosby wants gone. Like from everything I've heard, he's done. Like, and that's crazy for him to say because he loved the Raiders. But if he's coming out and saying it now, then he definitely wants gone. Jefferson, I'm sure he would like to go.
Or a 3-4 though. I don't know if Crosby fits.
No, I'm just speaking on him. But Jefferson, I'm sure Mikey, he would love to go somewhere else.
I think he would love to go to Buffalo and play.
Yeah, but
play for Joe Brady.
It's not his. It's not his. Decision, right? He can't force that. Now he could try to force the hand, but he won't. Right? You know what I mean? He's going to get paid. He's going to stay.
He's the face of the franchise. He's not going.
He's
anywhere.
The face of the franchise, right? And you know what they'll wind up doing? They'll wind up finding him a quarterback. Like they're going to do right for. I believe they will. Like they fucked up with him with JJ. They'll figure it out.
You know who they're probably going to go get. And this sounds so weird to say, Mac Jones.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold left San Francisco.
You're right.
Went there and did really well.
And it's possible
Mac Jones just spent a year under Shanahan. Now he's going to go to the KOC system and be able to run it. And Mac Jones played well this year. Say what you want.
He did. He
played
did.
Well this year.
He's just my problem with Mac Jones is I like him, but I don't. There's a lot of the game I don't like about him. You know what I mean? The mobility.
He's a game manager.
He's a game manager, yeah.
But
the
that's
mobility
all
is a
you
problem
need when you
for
have
me.
Jefferson and those guys. Just
that
get the
true.
ball to your best
you're
guy.
Right. If you, toss it up there. You're absolutely right. I'm with you. I mean, maybe you take a flyer on him on a 2-year deal, 3-year. You know what I mean? And you draft a quarterback. You know what I mean? And if he works out, he works out.
Yeah. Spence says every coach should have control of 53 on who makes the roster. Or not. That's common sense. Now trades can be a different story. Well, the problem is trades you can't really because that could be one of the 53.
Yeah.
You're talking about draft day trades, okay. But if you're talking about regular in-season trades that you can't, that means the coach has the control of 53. You have to get the coach's approval to make that deal.
Correct.
If it's just who makes the final 53, okay, I'll give you that. But who controls like in season if we make a deal or something like that, and who actually owns the final say of the 53, the GM, then I'm good with that. If it's like, okay, the GM sits down with the head coach, says, who do you want on the 53? That makes sense. The coaching staff having that. Let's hit Richie super chat here, and then we'll get back to some more.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Well, they don't have to pull Scuggs move and tag him because he's already re-signed. But Jefferson's very realistic. He ain't sticking around for a rebuild. He's a bill if they don't pull the Scuggs move and tag him. He re-signed to a big deal last year.
He got a big deal.
He's like the highest paid receiver in the league.
Right.
So I would love to see it. I would give up 3 ones for him. Would you?
I would, but here's the deal. For me, for Jefferson, though, Mikey, I think he'd have to force their hand. I can't see a way where they're like doing it would be like what Dallas did with Luka. Like it would be where your GM gets fired. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't see it. There's no reason for it. He's your face of the franchise. He's he's the only reason probably why fans are going to show up right now, right? Because your team's not good right now. You need a quarter. So, and by the way, too, if you're looking for a free agent quarterback, who doesn't want to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson, right? So, just throwing that out there too.
Cato comes in and says Jones or Willis. Jones may be more because like what that coach did with Darnold. Yeah, because he comes from the Shanahan tree, which KOC comes from the McVay Shanahan tree. It's the same offense. And you learn under Shanahan, then you go to one of them. I think Willis ends up in Pittsburgh.
Malik Willis?
Yeah. I think he ends up in Pittsburgh. I think Aaron Rodgers comes back for one more year. I do.
It's a good spot for him.
And I think Malik Willis is going to be his backup for 1 year, and then they're going to turn the offense over to him.
See, if I'm Malik Willis, I'm not having that. I've had for me.
He may not like. Where else is he going to go?
No, it doesn't matter.
The
then
Jets?
I don't care. Like I get it, but for me, look, I've been in the league long enough. I've played that role. I'm not being anybody's backup.
3 years.
I'm a starter. You're gonna sign me to be a starter. I'm not competing
we don't
with
know
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, but I think at this point he feels like, for me, I think he did enough in Green Bay, and I think throughout his career. And I'm not saying he's going to be a great quarterback in the league. I'm just saying I feel like his time is now where he deserves if you feel Mac Jones deserves to be a starter with Minnesota, right, or he earned that, this guy's earned it way more than Mac Jones, in my opinion. He's been super reliable when his name's been called. So for me, if I'm him, I'm not taking no backseat to fucking Aaron Rodgers. You either want me or you don't. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, if you're Pittsburgh, that'd be a terrible mistake by Pittsburgh to bring back Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying he's totally washed.
I can see Mike McCarthy bringing him back. Or maybe they have bad blood and it doesn't happen and they go get Malik. I think Malik would be a good fit in Pittsburgh. With DK and that offense, I think Malik would be an ideal fit there.
Yeah, and you know what? And I don't think Pittsburgh fans would be happy because they're already not happy with McCarthy, right? For me, I think it's a great hire. But if McCarthy, who's an old head, which that's what their worry is, he's an old head, old OC. If he brings in an old Aaron Rodgers, right? Then they're gonna go, holy shit, here we go, right? Right, so for them, if he's smart, you go get the younger guy for now, sign him to a 3-year deal. I don't know if Malik Willis will be the real
Cooper
answer.
Rush as his backup to learn the McCarthy system because he spent time together in Denver.
Exactly, that's what I would do.
Yeah. Randy says, guys, I was listening to the NFL on Sirius yesterday. Crosby didn't say he wanted out. It was a narrative pushed by others. I expect him to stay with Kubiak now. Okay. I can see that too. You hear that? You heard that Myles Garrett wanted out all last offseason too.
Well, he wrote a fucking letter.
Yeah, and then he took the bag. So
yeah, but he did write a letter.
Until someone moves, I don't believe it. Anyway,
I know I'm with you there, but unlike Crosby,
I can see
he did write a letter.
I can see us going to get Trey Hendrickson.
That's what I'm saying. No, Hendrickson's available. Like that's not even. That's he's just
money
agent, right?
He's just money.
Just money. Right. Can you work a deal out? Now, for me, the only thing that worries me with him is age, right? Like, okay, how long do you want that deal, right?
2.
You know what I mean? You got to be careful. You
have 2 years with probably 2 years void. So it's going to be a 4-year deal. Like really to a 2-year whatever deal. And,
and I'd be okay with that, right? Just be smart with the contract is all.
Mm-hmm. Or they would give him a 4-year deal at like $100 million, right? With the first 2 years guaranteed, 2 years, $50 million guaranteed. And then the last 2 years, you can just cut up. And then they push it out like 2 years. So it's really like a 6-year, $100 million, like they did with Vaughn.
Yeah. Cause I feel like I still feel like that dude has at least 2 good years in him, at least, you know what I mean? So we'll benefit at least 2 years, right? We'll get good Hendrickson for 2, maybe 3.
I also do
Pierce
he might be a free agent.
Yes,
You know?
that's an interesting move. Absolutely.
I think Hendrickson's probably the one that we have the best chance at because he's a free agent. Garrett's not going anywhere, and
No.
Crosby's probably not going anywhere. And we hired his college defensive line coach, so there's ties to him.
You know what's a crazy? Somebody brung up the other day, crazy name, but Deshaun Watson. Do you think he has anything left, and what do you think Cleveland does with him? I mean,
They don't have
to
a
write out
choice
the
but
contract.
they don't have a choice but to write out the contract.
That
When
is
you
the
fully guarantee
wildest
that
thing
shit
ever, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. I think eventually they're just gonna have to eat it, man.
And they kicked some cap to make room last year. They had to restructure him and push some into future years.
God, they made us have to eventually cut and just pay it or do a settlement or something. Maybe work something out with him. You know, if he's willing
they're gonna have
do
to
it.
take him and eat it.
All right. Yeah.
And try to take
an
it
injury
all
settlement.
take it over a 2-year
God.
take it over a 2-year time frame like
Did
Denver did with Russ. They ate it.
Did they fire
took it
that
over 2
guy,
years.
by the way? Did they fire that GM, by the way? I would hope so, right?
Yeah.
God, brutal. You know, Miami almost pulled that, right?
Yeah.
Miami was in the running on that. Wow.
The Vikings are going to have to prove to Jefferson that they have a plan in place for quarterback, especially after seeing his guy leave and go in a ship the next season. If not, my man's going to be heated. Yeah. Like it could get ugly there. It could get ugly there.
Yes. If they have another season like that.
Chaos. And they just fired their GM. So they're going to bring in a new GM, but their head coach is a smart guy. They're not going to let him out the building.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right,
so,
Tommy. We were 215.
Yeah, been on here quite a bit. We appreciate you guys rocking with us, man. Sorry that we weren't on Monday. That's my fault. I just needed a little bit of R&R, but I will return Monday. Mikey,
Monday.
are you going to be back? Yeah, that's right. Mikey will be here Monday Night Uncensored at 10 p.m. So it's a late show, but you know, Monday Night Uncensored, we get to talk a lot of shit. You guys can talk a lot of shit, say what you want, pretty much. And that's what that show is all about. And then I will return also Friday Night Lights by myself at 8:30. So join me then. I might change it to 8 since I'm solo. But anyways, guys, we appreciate you guys rocking with us and supporting us throughout the years, man. And we ain't going anywhere.
It's going to be a
Bills
fun
Mafia,
off.
we love you.
It's going to be a fun
It is.
off.
And we'll be here. If anything hits, by the way, news, all that shit, we're usually the first, you know, we'll try to be the first to go live and break that for you, man. You know, especially during free agency. Free agency is going to be lit, man. So,
and that's
all
where
right,
I'll
guys,
probably pop in on Fridays, you know, when we sign
there
someone.
you go.
And, you know, that's
There
probably
you
where
go.
you'll probably see me on the
or
Friday.
when we wave somebody, a big cut,
Pop
or
in, just,
trade.
give me my thoughts. You don't have to wait for the week. So,
yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, guys, we love you, man. We're out of here. Go
Go
Bills.
Bills.
Peace.
Just let